Greetings, well met, and welcome back, everyone, to The Angry Chicken, the podcast about Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft. I'm Garrett Weinzerl, and I am joined today by only Willie Dills Gregory, because Dills, last week, the girls got in here, they had a ladies' night. Well, we're here to have a sausage fest.
That's right. We're going to do our nails. We're going to drink like wine spritzers. It's going to be amazing, dude. I'm looking forward to it.
Is that what you do at a sausage fest? I thought you cooked sausage.
That's not what you do? That's what I always do.
I mean, that sounds...
I hang with my bros.
That sounds fabulous.
We get into pillow fights. We we talk about each other's girlfriends and stuff, you know.
That sounds
good stuff.
Sounds like a great time. Add
good, actually.
Add doing your hair in there, and it's like my kind of place.
That's
man.
right. We do each other's hair, actually.
Oh, nice. Can you give me a nice French braid?
Sure, man. That's what I specialize in. I'm a dude.
Actually, I think your hair is long enough that we could. I think we'd have to do
It's getting there,
cornrows
man. It's
for
actually
me.
getting close.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start wetting it like a wrestler and just kind of always wet hair.
Yeah, and then
you'll kind of fling around in my
you'll
face.
also start wearing skin tight like black shirts, so when you walk out of your house, you have all the wetness dripping down. And it looks like you're
totally.
Yeah, one of the dudes in that WWE event I watched last weekend had exactly that going on. I'm like, why is it dripping on his shoulders? Like, oh, because he probably just dunked his head in a bucket.
It's a weird thing, but yeah, they literally
out.
dunk their head in water before they come out.
Yeah, guys, I don't know much about wrestling. This is the second event I ever watched. I had a really good time with it, though, and my cousin almost flipped the table over when The Undertaker showed up, so that was really cool. Yeah.
One of us.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's a quick story. If I can do, I know there's a lot to talk about today, but just a quick aside. My Katie, my fiance, used to be a huge wrestling fan. Sting was her wrestler of choice, and there was a big rumor going around that Sting was going to show up to this thing. So when Katie heard that, she's like, "Oh, we're staying in tonight, watching this with your cousin," and then Sting never showed up. So she was still a good time, still a really good time. But she's like, "Oh man, bad information." So.
Well, The Undertaker is pretty good too, though. So.
It is. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Well, by the way, if we're on story time, I have a bone to pick with you, actually.
Oh.
I was watching you stream with Yang Wu the other day.
Oh, because I have a bone to pick with you after streaming with Yang Wu. So.
Oh, really?
So pick your bone first.
Okay, let's pick each other's bones. That sounds pretty bad. Let's not do that.
Terrible. That sounds just awful.
So you were talking about Yang Wu asked you how the Angry Chicken got started, the origin story. If you were, of the Angry Chicken.
Yeah.
You know, the time we all like fell into like a vat of like gamma radiation ooze or whatever.
Yeah, and then a chicken fell in. And then
a chicken fell in, and then the rest is history.
Boom, out we came.
So you said, oh, we met because of the Instance Tour Edition, and you were like, I was actually on more shows than Dills.
I'm almost
positive. That is not true.
I was so on more episodes than you. Because there was only like 16
there was only
episodes.
24 episodes of that show, and I only missed like 3 of them. I remember
I
was sick. And then I missed the last one, though. I'll give you that.
Sworn. Okay.
I missed the last one, but you were on our first episode. I remember this.
I was on
and
a
then
lot
you
of
were
episodes.
a very, very frequent guest, for sure.
Well, it's because
I was on like 20-something episodes out of 24, so there's no way.
Oh, it's not like I was like, oh, yeah, I've been on so many more. I just
could
have sworn.
I was watching it, and I was like, what? No way.
I'm sure I was on. I could have sworn I was on more episodes than you, but no. Whatever the case.
But that is how we met. Because on that first episode, I don't think we'd ever talked once. At that point,
no, I had talked to Scott only ever in written form. I was like, "Hey, Scott, big fan. Let me know if you need help with stuff." I ended up helping on the tour edition of the Instance, and
you were doing like you were kind of like the Swickard of the tour show.
Yeah, I was assembling,
help come up with news stories, and then also just be on the show.
Yeah, that's what would happen, because Scott was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a revolving chair," and I know Scott was really busy at the time, so it was just like Garrett. And well, why not Garrett again? Because he already knows what we're talking about, because he wrote half of it. So yeah, no, it was a fun time, man. I mean, that was
listening to it. It made me want to play the game again.
It's a fun game, but damn, the free to play version is just so crippled. It's like just paywall after paywall. It's just, when I do go back and play it, I just pay for a month because it's such a better experience.
Sure. No, I logged in the other day and I had like all these ideas. I was gonna like play, get my characters going again, maybe roll a new one. Okay. And the free version, you only get like 2 tunes on the server. And like, this is nothing. And I was like, no, I'm not doing this.
They give you a hard time about your last name, which I thought was one of like the coolest things in the game.
Oh yeah, that's right too.
Your legacy title or whatever it is.
I lost my last name.
There was some really cool stuff in that game. It was just, we got to max level and there was like almost no content.
Yeah, which now I guess there is, but you got to pay for it. So.
Well, yeah, they're releasing expansions at a fairly regular rate, and they just announced a new one at E3, and so the game's doing all right.
Yeah, it's possible I'll be back. We'll see.
Yeah, I'd like to dip my toes in there every now and then.
All right, Bone, pick me now.
Just that apparently when you were streaming with Mr. Young the week before, you said I was the worst player on the Angry Chicken.
Oh, well, yeah, I got put on the spot. He asked me who would win in a tournament, and then I was like, well, me. And then I was like, well, second would be Jocelyn. And he was like, okay, so Garrett's the worst. And I was like, no, damn it. I got trapped.
I on a week-to-week basis, I think I'm definitely the worst player on this show for sure. But if I knew I had a tournament coming up, sir, I would. I would try hard. Decided that you were
going to bone up on the meta. You see how I had a bone reference in there.
Yeah.
Then yeah, no, you like I've played you plenty of times. I know you're pretty. Like really, the diplomatic thing would have been to say, "Oh, we're all equal." Absolutely.
But that's no fun. That's no
exactly.
fun.
Yeah, it's no fun. But also, we were talking. Like it kind of came out of the discussion of Jocelyn as a player now, as compared to Jocelyn as a player on episode 1 of The Angry Chicken. Right?
Yeah, that came up when I was streaming with him too. As a matter of fact, folks, you can go to Youngwoo's stream right now and watch these videos, and I think he even uploaded it to YouTube. There's a link.
Yeah, and he apparently didn't click whatever he's supposed to click, so mine is gone forever.
Yeah, yours has been lost to the ether, which is sad.
It was the most amazing thing too. Like you guys should have seen it. We gave everybody $100 who was there. I mean, it was crazy, but gone forever.
Yeah. Oh, what
Yang Wu told me about the next expansion after this one. He told me all about it.
I know. He told me a bunch of things that would get him fired too, and I'm going to talk about it right now. No. That man is very well trained by PR.
Yes,
I will.
Yes, but I'm really glad that he had us on because it was a really cool experience. I got to BM a Hearthstone dev, which I thought was pretty fun, and then it was just like he's just a cool dude to hang out with. So, playing like through the tavern brawls and stuff, and just kind of talking to him about the game, you really get a sense of how much he really likes what he does and the game he works on, which I told him is like one of the reasons why Blizzard makes such good games in the first place. They all actually enjoyed the games.
We even had a floating card bug during one of our games, and he couldn't see it on his end, so he's like, "Oh, what is that? I'm going to write a ticket like right now."
Oh my god! You put him to work, huh?
I didn't mean to. I was like, "Oh, I can't see the one minion you have in play because the card you were going to play but didn't last turn is completely covering it up."
He's also pretty damn good at Hearthstone, too. I don't know if you noticed that. He kicked my ass.
He destroyed me. Just wrecked me.
But I think he was cheating. I'm pretty sure. They were feeding him much better cards, right?
I think so, too. I think he called up his buddies over at HQ, said, hey, I want my next top deck to be this and that and this other thing. I did take one game off of him in our Conquest format Tavern Brawl, but that was it. That was the best I could muster. And it wasn't.
Did you like make each deck like as like right when you were about to play it?
I made.
You guys were doing. I watched a little bit, but I didn't catch the whole thing.
So what happened was, as everyone knows, I was gone for a whole week last week. I was in the Florida Keys with miserable internet, so I didn't get to play any video games. Also, Florida Keys, I was outside a lot, soaking up the rays and eating and drinking too much.
And staying away from the gators.
Well, there's
watching out for gators, right?
There's no gators in Key West, but.
Okay, I just assume they're everywhere.
No, in the Florida Keys, not really, man. Okay. Everglades, right. Yes.
Good reason to go there, then.
Yeah, a lot of iguanas this year. I go to the Key West every year. Never seen an iguana. There were like 3 of them just running around the pool the whole time we were there.
There's one thing I'm not looking forward to about Texas, by the way, when I move there. For people who don't know, when we move into Austin in like a matter of months. But the Texas bugs, dude, and you guys probably have those in Florida too, right?
Dude,
just massive, giant, ridiculous bugs.
Fun fact about my family that folks may not know: my dad owns and operates his own extermination company because it's good business here.
Oh my god!
You never run out of big roaches to kill. It's gross. It's really gross. Caught my cats chasing down one last night. It was glad to see they were doing their job.
Wait a minute. Okay, I thought you said it was chasing your cat. Hold on, I heard that right. I was like, you got bugs that chase cats?
No, my cats were chasing this big roach.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Everybody go back to what you were doing.
This is the most fun top of the show we've had in a while.
We probably shouldn't do it too much longer.
No, I don't think we should. So yeah, whatever the case is, I didn't have a lot of prep with the brawl going into the games. The Young Woo, I had played maybe a total of seven brawls. beforehand, and that was like cramming them in with the one deck I was going to start with. So I'm like, I'm just going to learn this deck, and I just got creamed by that deck, or with that deck. So yeah, whatever. It is.
What do you think about this Tavern Brawl?
Best Tavern Brawl ever.
You like this one a lot? Yeah.
Done.
I mean, okay, so it was really fun, but I was noticing that all the games were done by like turn 2 or 3, because I mean, you just put a bunch of crazy stuff in your deck and then just like blah, like just all on the board.
You are absolutely correct, but there was just an absurd factor that I feel like hasn't been reached yet in Hearthstone. Period. Yang Wu's actually one of his first games against me with his priest was a beautiful example, and he was explaining it while he was playing. Why is it a beautiful example? He's like, things I've always wanted to do: play Gruul, because no one plays Gruul. And then I removed Gruul, and I was laughing. He's like, what else I wanted to do, Garrett? I'm like, what? He's like, play Resurrect when nothing small has died before, and then boom, Gruul comes back. I'm just like,
yeah, Priest was the king for 1 week.
Yeah,
1 week only.
For 1 week in a non-competitive mode.
Yeah, because so with Priest, I had a game where turn 1 they played, I think it was Cro-Magus, and then I mind controlled Cro-Magus. And then the very next turn drew mind control, and so got an extra mind control. So I had double mind control in my hand. And then I actually played my own Cro-Magus. No, this is actually what happened. I played my own Cro-Magus. I got 3 mind controls because I drew mind control at the top. So I was just like, yeah, this game's over. It doesn't matter what he does now. He plays like Ragnar unless I steal it. Whatever. It was awesome. Because Resurrect is insane. Mind control is insane. Priest was king.
They should have just called this like a Maz week, because Priest was the best class to play.
The Maz Brawl.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've got a lot to talk about, so let's hit it very hard with this week's news.
Good news, everyone!
Oh, yes! Again, Gnome, you're saying oh no, you should be so excited because, dude, we got a new expansion announced.
Yes.
I was there. While I was gone and you were there.
I was there. It was pretty fun.
So this went down at the Folsom Street Foundry.
Yes, which is where people who listen to the show know I do game nights every single Tuesday, and this was not like a game night, but they came and they visited the venue at a game night. I think when they saw the place, they were like, "Oh, this is perfect for something like this," and it was awesome. They had cameras everywhere. Yeah, Dodds was there. Kripp and Frodan casted like a special game with the new cards. It was Trump versus Amaz, and then the winner played Firebat. I got to beat Eloise. I got to it was crazy. Everybody was there. It was awesome.
Yeah. So I got to watch the announcement on VOD, and then they showed like half of the first game, and then the VOD just ends.
I heard that. Yeah, that kind of sucks for everybody who wasn't there.
Yeah. Yeah. So
it was so cool that I was there. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So I don't believe we've actually stated the name of the expansion yet. So the next Hearthstone expansion, everyone, is the Grand Tournament. As if you didn't already know, if you go out of your way to subscribe to a Hearthstone podcast.
TGT.
TGT. It works.
It's good. So this is the first time I think they're actually kind of creating their own lore, because it is Warcraft lore, right? But this is like what happened after the Argent tournament. Like we got these cool fairgrounds. Let's just keep having a tournament.
Yeah, I loved
the idea.
I love Dodds's. Do you say Dodds's or just love
Dodds's?
I love Dodds' pitch.
Eyes? I don't know.
Dodds' pitch was great, which was, "Hey, so there's this whole big fairground. Lich King is dead. What do we do? Well, let's just keep having the tournament. Like, let's just keep going. Let's have a good time."
It's totally fun, which is exactly what happened in World of Warcraft. Not at all.
Yeah,
we all left it. We never went back.
We were all like, we looked at each other, and I was just like, Dills, we don't have to joust anymore. We don't have to joust anymore.
No more jousting.
You mean I get to
never
actually
come back?
I actually get to hit buttons that I spec'd into, and I want to play because I picked this class instead of horse buttons.
When you put your weapon on, it stays on. You don't forget that you have a lance where your weapon should be.
I did that so many times on my hunter, and it was just bad.
It was bad.
Yeah, so
this is awesome.
This is pretty cool. I love the flavor of everything with the Grand Tournament. So the whole thing is based around the TOC, which is what we thought.
Yes.
But it's a little more lighthearted and super fun, which I would argue TOC in the beginning stages was pretty lighthearted even in World of Warcraft. It was like build the fairgrounds, raise a tent, learn how to ride a horse.
But then there was some darkness to it. Well, there was the Black Knight. And then, of course, the whole idea was that we needed to train so that the people we sent off to kill the Lich King wouldn't die and become zombies, essentially.
Right. And that did get a bit morbid, and then at the very end of the raid, you were sucked down into the abyss to fight Anubarak.
Yeah. Which would actually, that might have been one of my favorite fights, is Heroic Anubarak. Was such a fun fight.
Because you were a hunter, and you had one of the most important jobs.
Well, I had to shoot the ice balls out of the sky, and then I had to kill spiders, and then, get back on Anu. But if you, in the heroic version, there was just like this damage that just built up so insanely, and the spiders were really important to control. It was just there was so much going on in the fight that it was just one of those fights I'll always remember, like, really fondly.
Yeah, it was a good one. But I really, I'm totally down for this. I'm excited, honestly, just from, if I can become art nerd, Garrett, for just a second. The artwork, man. The art is gorgeous for this. And, like, I'm looking at these, and it's the first time that I've really looked at a large grouping of Hearthstone cards, and it's really made me feel like World of Warcraft. Because I don't know about you, and I didn't really think about it until now. A lot of the cards so far, you look at the card art, and the characters on them almost look like mobs and less like hero character or player characters.
Sure.
Almost all of the champions that are on these cards in the grand tournament, like, I look at it and I'm just like, that dude stood next to me in this raid. Like, it looks like my off tank, or it looks like my healer buddy. Like, it looks like player characters from World of Warcraft, but turned up to 11. I really dig it.
Yeah, some of the art is... I can't wait to see the golden versions of some of these cards. Like, Wilfred Fizzlebang with Jiraxis looming behind him is just one of the coolest things I've seen in the game.
It's so good, too, and I'm sure we'll talk about him in a second. I'm not as excited about him as I was hoping I'd be.
I'm incredibly excited, even if he sucks, just because what he will allow you to do in, like, fun games is going to be
absolutely. Fun card.
Yeah. He might suck. We don't know.
Yeah. I'm surprised he has, like, no synergy really whatsoever with Jiraxis.
I guess he makes him free. So I guess that's kind of synergy. If you tap into him,
I guess that's a good point.
You get him, you can immediately play him.
That is a very good point. So. Okay, for folks listening, wondering what the hell Wilfred.
But that's the same synergy as with every other card.
Yeah, that's a very good point. If you don't know, if you haven't looked at Wilfred Fizzlebang, his effect is cards you draw from your hero power cost 0, and it's a new Warlock legendary. So
yeah, and it looks awesome. But okay, here's why I think the art might be a little bit better, though. A lot of the art that we saw previously was just straight off from the WoW TCG, right?
Absolutely.
Like, literally lifted.
And some of them that weren't even from that were just from other Blizzard artwork that's already existed in the past.
So as we go on, there's not going to be, like, everything is going to have to be brand new and commissioned from this point forward, right?
Yeah.
So I think we're going to start seeing each kind of set have its style, if you will. And it does feel to me like, Magic has so many different artists. Some of the cards don't feel very much like there's necessarily continuity between the artwork on it. But this all does feel very much like this is a pool of artists that all kind of share a similar style, right?
Pushes up glasses. Magic actually has really strict style guides, and there's an absurd amount of consistency.
Well, sometimes I look at a card and I'm like, this looks totally weird compared to all the other ones.
That's very good. Usually the spell cards are the ones that diverge the most because they have to be weirdly... I don't know, not concrete. Like, I don't know.
Sure.
How do you draw a spell, Dills?
You draw somebody casting it.
Done.
Yeah.
Very done. Or in the case of Warcraft, we know what they look like because they're in a video game.
Sure.
So.
Sure.
But
we know Magic also has a larger space, really, for the artwork, right? Like, it's a bigger chunk of the card.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah. Spell cards in Hearthstone have
spell cards in Hearthstone are square.
Yeah.
Minion cards are the little oval.
Yeah, that minion card oval is, I gotta say, it is a tough frame to put art into.
That's gotta be a little bit challenging, for sure.
Which is also probably another reason this art looks so good is because if it was commissioned from the ground up, that means it was drawn with this border in mind. So the composition is going to make a... Man, I'm getting granular. Anyway, so the expansion is coming out next month, which next month is, 6 days away?
Yeah.
Now, granted,
coming right up on it. Yeah.
Not coming out August 1st, but...
but it's August. Yeah. Launches this August. So I'm assuming it's coming pretty quick because they already released an update where the pre-release is available on, like, Amazon tablets or through the Amazon store. So...
Sweet.
It's got to be close.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have 132 new cards. Awesome. Glad to hear that. A ton of those new cards are going to be affecting hero powers, and not just in this next key point, which is that we're getting a new keyword called Inspire. And what Inspire triggers every time you use your hero power. And then it has a whole wide variety of effects. Think of it like Death Rattle. A bunch of cards have Death Rattle. All the Death Rattles do different things. Same thing here with Inspire.
One thing to note about Inspire is that Inspire triggers after the hero power has been cast. So, because I was thinking about this, there's some cards that affect, like there's the Totem card that has Inspire that gives your totems +2 attack. And I was like, so does that happen before the totem comes out or after? It happens after. So if there's like an effect that the hero power does, then the Inspire effect will then happen after.
Okay, so like one of the ones that would buff a totem, you're not really wasting anything. So you could do it on an empty board.
No, you could do it right away and get a buff totem.
So you could do it on a totemless board and you get a buff totem.
Yep.
Cool. Very, very cool.
Yep.
That's a good. That's a very important sequence.
Yeah, and Inspire works like that pretty much across the board. So just to make that clear, like when you're looking at cards, it's important to note like that's how Inspire works.
Rum Soaked in the chat room says, when you move to Texas, you will gain the keyword Perspire.
Perspire, correct.
Yeah.
Yes. But I will also gain the keyword has a pool. So that's going to be pretty sweet.
Oh, snap. I didn't know that. Oh,
well, all the apartments I've been looking at, they all have pools.
Oh, okay.
And I'm pretty much decided that I'm choosing one.
If you're going to live in a place that hot, it is almost required.
I'm going to swim every day.
There is not a pool anywhere near where we live right now in Florida, and damn, I'm wishing I had one right now.
There's not a pool like in San Francisco, period. Like nobody has one. There's no reason.
There's no room to put it, man.
There's some public pools, but they all just smell like pee and
all those houses are like weirdly like skinny but tall. And where'd you put a pool in that? I don't know.
Yeah, you can't put it in there.
Yeah. And then for those of you who are just chomping at the bit to spend money, we are going to be able to pre-purchase 50 packs starting next week for the discount of $50, and you also get a card back. This
Correct.
is not going to be available after the expansion releases, and you cannot do this more than once. So you can't buy.
No, it's a one-time thing. You can't buy like $300 worth of cards.
Yeah, so. you only get this discount.
This is probably all I'll buy though. I think I'm just gonna buy this one thing.
Oh, you're gonna go it easy at first?
Well, I mean, usually I just buy like let's see. So GVG, I bought one set of whatever it was 60, right? I guess was the most you could buy.
Yeah, that's when they upped it, where you could get the next level up or whatever.
So that's all I bought there, and then I earned everything else through Arena and stuff. So that's how I'll do it this way too. I think $50 is a decent amount of cards to start with. I don't want to just like buy all the cards because I like the feeling of like having a card I want to get, and then earning it too. Yeah, so I want a base to start with, and then I want to earn some.
That's true. I'm totally with that too. As long as I don't have the same experience I did with GVG, which was the first round of cards I went through, I got nothing but crap legendaries. It was like, here you go.
That may happen again.
Mimiron's head.
Yeah.
Neptulon, who's actually not terrible, but Shaman's not that great, and no one's really running Neptulon right now.
Maybe that will change, though.
Maybe it will.
I think it will. But this is cool, although some people are a little bit upset because it's the only way to get the card back. The card back is really cool. And I feel these people's pain because card backs are awesome, but I didn't expect card backs to always be something you can earn for free. The fact is, you can still earn all the cards for free if that's what you really care about.
I've always been of the belief that if it's purely cosmetic, I don't really care.
I don't care if you have to pay. Yeah, exactly. Like you have the option not to pay for it.
I definitely get annoyed. Like I still really like the Medivh card back, but I don't play a lot of Mage. Medivh. Sorry.
Hey man, you do you. You say however you
like.
Save
your emails. I know it's Medivh. I just said it in my own head as Medivh for so long. It's hard to break that habit.
You can't suddenly switch.
Yeah.
But I agree with you 100%. I think that when it comes to something cosmetic, it's fine if it costs money. You just choose not to buy it if you think that the price point is wrong. But here you're getting a deal on the cards themselves too. So
yeah,
like to me, this is for $50 to get 50 packs, get a good base set to start with. Instantly have like the ability to make some new decks and stuff and a card back. I'm all in.
Yeah, me too. I'm totally down. They didn't do this last time. They didn't give us a discount. They didn't give us a card back.
No. And a bunch of people spent way too much money. I think this might go I think this is a good idea because I think it will get people who might not have bought packs at all to buy packs. It might get some people though to not buy more and more packs because you're going to feel like the next set of whatever is expensive because the first one was cheaper, right? So it's possible it could work against them a little bit, but I don't think so. Yeah. And I hope that this is the precedent that they're setting, that they'll always be doing this, giving you a deal at the beginning.
Yeah, I like this. It's the more they get into giving me the feeling of like a Magic pre-release event, which we kind of have with GVG when they were just like, "Hey guys, surprise! GVG cards are in Arena. Go have fun."
Yeah. Oh, by the way, they should do that again.
They should absolutely. I am just assuming they are going to do that again.
I really hope that happens.
That was probably
tomorrow would be the day, right, when it would happen.
Looking back on it, that was one of my favorite things from GVG, if not my favorite, because it totally gave me that feeling. Like, I love when a new Magic set comes out. I love going to my local store a week early and, all right, let's just play some limited. We don't know what these cards are. Who gives a shit? Let's build some decks. So fun.
Yeah, and just see what they could do. It was funny because that little week period or whatever, you just picked GVG cards whether you thought it was the best pick or not. Oh, God, yeah. Like, you were just like, no, I don't care if this is the best pick. I want this card. I want to see what it does.
That was also one of the most fun weeks to watch streams because everyone, even if they weren't normally Arena players, were playing Arena and they were doing exactly what you were saying. It's like, this is probably a bad pick, but I just want to see what this card does. And it was super fun.
Should I take a Noyotron or Boulder Fist Ogre? Noyotron's brand new.
Also, Noyotron, great intro. Gotta have that email.
That is true.
That
is true. So, anything that you're disappointed about this announcement?
Can we just?
Come on, Garrett. Let's do this. Let's get this out of the way.
Can we just say that tournament's in the title and there's no tournament mode, and then just move on? Can we just then just go straight? Of course, everyone out there. Of course, we're kind of being like, really, guys. But I feel like you and I have talked enough about tournament mode in recent weeks.
Yeah, we don't need to rehash the whole conversation. Yeah. But if you were going to release a tournament mode, this would have been the grandest time to do it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put that out there.
I wasn't really expecting it.
I didn't expect it at all, no. But I was hopeful.
Yeah.
So. I had a glimmer in my eye when I was thinking, oh, Argent Tournament, this could be it. And then when I was at the event, and I saw him start going into cards, I was like, nah, this is not going to happen.
Not happening. Also, no mount cards. I'm kind of sad.
They still keep talking about mounts. I don't know. We haven't seen every card yet.
That is true, but I feel like I feel like that mechanic would have been a big highlight. If you could like stack cards on top of one another.
This is very true.
And they kept it going too, because they opened with the intro video and it's like a pirate riding a parrot. I'm like, oh my God, there might be mounts. Holy crap. And then Dodds did his whole spiel. I'm like, come on, and mount cards, and it just never. And now on to Trump versus I forget now, and I'm just like, oh damn, no mount cards. I was hoping.
Trump and Amots, by the way.
I was hoping to one up Dilstradamus is what I was really hoping for.
You know, it was a good idea, and they heard it. So maybe next time we'll see.
We also got a small patch this week, Dills.
Yes.
That I think went up momentarily before the show.
It actually did, yeah. So I saw this on Reddit, but I don't think this is actually available everywhere, but it is available on like Amazon tablets or stuff that uses the Amazon store.
Yeah, and I would assume that this is going up everywhere else very soon. So obviously the new Darkspear card back being added because we're gonna have access to it here in a couple of days once the month switches over to August 1st. But we also had some bug fixes, specifically, and most interesting probably is the spectator mode fix, which apparently they resolved an issue that could cause a card with a choose one option to become stuck on the screen. A lot of folks were seeing this with Druid cards, obviously.
Yeah. That's the only place you'd see
really
it.
The only place you'd see.
So choose one cards, and then I think it also might have been happening with tracking as well, but can't confirm because nobody plays that card anymore. So
yeah.
Which they might start playing again, though, with Lock and Load, a Hunter card that's coming out, which everybody oohed and awed about, by the way, when I was actually at the event. Every time they showed a card, everybody oohed and awed, but like people were specific, like Lock and Load they showed, and we'll talk about that card later, and everyone was like, oh, like it was so broken. And I was looking at it, I was like, this is not, like face hunters don't play this card. I don't see what the problem is. I was looking around like, am I taking crazy pills, or are all these cards totally fine?
No, Dills, you are just too into this, and we are just jaded.
maybe. Like, I looked at all the cards, I was like, yeah, all right, that seems finely costed for what it does. And everyone else was freaking out and losing their minds. It was awesome.
We've just been at it too long, man. I've seen some stuff.
Yeah. I've seen too much, dude. Seen too much.
I think we've just reached that point where we may be too nerdy about this one subject.
It's possible.
I never thought that would happen to me.
It is possible.
Oh, great.
But you know what we haven't seen enough of is the cards. There's so many cards. I can't wait to see them all. I want to play with them all.
Yeah. And why don't we move right into that? So this week we're not doing a strategy talk. We're going to talk about as much as we can about all the cards so far that have been released or revealed for the grand tournament. And I don't really have a bumper for it, so I'll just do this.
Cluck.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look, she's here, everybody.
Yeah, Jocelyn.
You don't have to be disappointed anymore.
Jocelyn, how is the temperature where you are?
So hot.
I figured it was.
How big was it?
That was huge.
I don't think I've played that one yet. I forget who sent that in. Whoever sent that in, thank you.
But it's pretty good. Do we have unicorn on my shirt yet? Do we have that one?
I think someone sent it in, and I haven't added it to the board yet.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sorry.
We got to get that one. And we definitely have to have it where she says it twice. Because I think that's, most of the time when someone says something the second time, it kind of annoys me. But in that particular instance, I think it added something to it,
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Oh, no.
We're gone.
For the video, no, I switched to the overlay and I realized
Rip Dills.
I never threw you in here, so I'm sorry, video audience. Right. Dills and I were just having a good old time talking about random crap for the pre-show, and I forgot we had a second scene I had to set up.
That's all right.
So
that's all right. We forgive you, Garrett.
Yeah, anyways, dude, here are the new cards that have been revealed so far.
Hype.
And we can talk all about them. So I'm just looking on, if folks you want to follow along, I just went over to Hearthstone and ticked on the TGT filter.
Yeah, this is what I use as well too. I did a short review on my stream the other day, which I haven't highlighted yet, so it's not there. So just don't worry about that. Let's do this.
Yep, and this appears to be in descending order of mana cost.
Yes.
So
we're starting with the most expensive stuff.
Yeah, so we're starting with Frost Giant, who's a 10 mana 8/8, and he costs 1 less for each time you have used your hero power this game. So like all the other giants, some way to reduce his cost.
Yeah, but starting at 10, so like Sea Giant, worst comes to let's say you have a Mountain Giant. This is why Mountain Giant's terrible like in Arena, is that if you have no cards, he's just literally unplayable. So This card is never actually completely unplayable unless it gets like, freezing trapped or something.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. That's a good point.
But this guy, a lot of people were like, oh man, Handlock gets another giant. I don't think Handlock plays this giant. Because if you think about what Handlock, the giant's Handlock does get now, you tap twice and you get to play a giant for 4 mana on turn 4. This card you tap twice is cost 8. Like I don't see this going into Handlock at all.
Do you think of it though so I was thinking about it, and maybe I'm just going too far to try and make this card work into a deck, which is something I think everyone, if you're theory crafting your decks, try and edit yourself. How hard are you really trying to think about how to make this card work?
Yeah.
But do you think this works in Handlock in that
no.
You do have games that go on crazy long, and you might actually run out of giants, and this is a late game giant for Handlock?
I still don't think so. I think that 4 giants is plenty, first of all. And the fact that you have other things in Handlock most of the time, like some Handlocks are still running things like Ragnaros and Twilight Drakes are a pretty big threat themselves. I don't think that this giant makes its way in there. I think maybe this giant goes into stuff like maybe a control priest or a control warrior or something like that. Somebody that does actually use their hero power a lot just naturally. Mm-hmm. And, Handlock, just the other giants are just cheaper. They're just going to be cheaper, and they're going to be better for Handlock specifically. So what this does do, though, is it allows like other decks that might not have had the ability to play with giants to suddenly have a giant that works for them. So I think it's cool. And I think it's nice to have, add a new giant maybe every expansion or so. So
I like the card, and I will definitely be foolishly trying, well, at least according to Dills' opinion, I'll be foolishly trying to make this work in Handlock at least the first week.
I think a lot of people will.
Just to see, man. I gotta see how it works.
I predict it won't stick. I think it'll make its way out.
I'm just gonna always throw it back, hope to get out my other giants first, and then still just have like 2 more giants, because why not?
However, I think this will be picked a lot in Arena, because if in Arena, Sea Giant is the best giant, because that's the one you're going to get for a cheaper cost most of the time. You oftentimes run out of cards, so Mountain Giant's terrible. And usually if you're down really low life, you don't have, heal bots and taunt givers like Handlock does, because you don't get to just shove them in your deck in Arena. So I think Frost Giant and Sea Giant are going to be the new Arena giants you're going to see a lot of.
Oh, yeah. No, I totally agree with you. I think he's going to be a champion of the arena.
Yeah, absolutely. And the next card is, I think, too.
Yeah, I mean, and not so much in constructed. The North Sea Kraken is a 9-mana common just minion, no affix, and it has 9 attack, 7 health, and a battle cry that reads deal 4 damage. So I think this card is borderline terrible for constructed. I just don't see where you're ever going to fit this thing in, but I think it's
too expensive for what it does.
Yeah, yeah. But I think it's pretty damn great for arena.
Yeah, because in arena, people don't tend to be running around with BGH in their decks. So you can play this. It's going to be a big thing that's probably going to kill a couple things. And also, the turn you play it, it's going to probably kill something. So I think in arena, I'll pick this thing a lot. Unless it's, it depends. It depends like what your deck looks like when this is presented. If you have a whole bunch of early game already and you're missing late game threats, I think this is a fantastic late game threat.
Yep.
Similar to like Force Tank Max is actually a good card in arena. Because it's just tough to deal with without something like BGH. I think this card will be pretty damn good there.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, it's 4 more damage that it can go through taunt, which one of the reasons a hunter hero power is so damn good. This is 2 hunter hero powers, and there's a lot of times where you're at the end of the game, you're just like, if I could just do 4 more damage, but he's got taunts up. Bam, here you go.
Yep. Direct damage in arena is actually something that's kind of hard to come by. So It's like a huge fire elemental. A gigantic fire elemental.
So let's talk about our first legendary so far, Dills. Sky Cap'n Crag. He's a 7-mana pirate minion, legendary rarity, 4 attack, 6 health. He reads charge, and he costs 1 less for each friendly pirate. I'm assuming this is in play.
Yeah, no, friendly pirate, that means on the board, essentially.
Yep.
It would denote if it meant like in your hand or something like that. But I think this card isn't good unless more pirates get added, right?
Yeah, unless more pirates get added and they're good pirates.
Yes, yeah. Because there's like the holes that pirates are missing right now are like decent mid-game pirates, right? You've got a few decent like early game pirates, and then when you get to like turn 5, 6, and 7, it's like, well, what do I do? Just play more 2-drops?
Yeah.
And that's not really going to work. So that's why like pirate decks have historically just been like aggro-y kind of pirate decks. And they've always kind of like 6-0 played a pirate deck that did okay. But for the most part, it's people just trying and failing to make them work.
Dills, don't forget the most famous pirate deck ever, which was Huskies in the very first.
The first BlizzCon.
The Hearthstone, what was it? The Innkeeper's Invitational?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
man.
Okay, but a 4/6, if you could have 2 pirates on board, is really good with charge. Like, think about, you pay 5 mana for a 4/4 with charge and Druid of the Claw. So if you play 5 mana for a 4/6, this is going to probably do a 2-for-1 every time. So.
Yeah. So you just need 2 pirates. But the thing is, again, that kind of sounds deceiving. It's like, just put 2 other pirates on my deck. Well, you need more to actually find those 2 pirates to increase your chances of actually getting value on this guy.
You're gonna have to put some parrots in there. It's just the whole, it's the whole.
You know what?
You go down.
I have gotten Captain's Parrot out of so many web spinners this week. I'm seriously considering putting this guy in my mid-range hunter deck.
There you go. There you go. Just so that my parrot does something. Yeah. I think though.
Or actually, is he even considered a pirate? No, he's considered a beast. So never mind.
What, the parrot?
The parrot's considered a beast.
But the parrot, when you play it, will draw the pirate.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct.
Which is why I used to put Captain Greenskin in my hunter deck, because I was like, if I'm going to have a chance to get a parrot, I might as well. And Captain Greenskin's okay anyway, because turning your axe into a 4-attack weapon is pretty good. So
yeah,
it actually worked pretty well for a while. But
yeah. So Sky Cap'n Crag, really fun looking. Hard to say if he's going to be good now without seeing the rest of the set.
They should, and someone just made a good point in the chat. Van Cleef isn't a pirate. Probably should be. I think they should add pirate to a couple of things.
But he was like the ninja king of pirates.
Yeah, but he was on a ship, man. That's where I found him and killed him.
Yeah, but he was pretty much a ninja. He just happened to be on a pirate ship.
All right. Okay. So he was bridging the gap between pirates and ninjas, which Dodds did make the joke that they had talked about that internally.
I still hold strong
that was the big joke.
To my dream expansion of kobolds and gnolls. So,
all right. In one more year, BlizzCon 2016. They're going to announce kobolds and gnomes.
I expect the most earnest of fist bumps from you when that happens.
All right, you got it.
Next card, Ball of Spiders, our first class-specific card. This is a hunter spell. It costs 6 mana. It's a rare, and it summons 3 web spinners. So your 1/1 web spinners, 3 of them for 6 mana. So you're spending 6 mana to summon 3 mana worth of cards, which granted they do give you cards in return when they die. This card is this is a vortex. This is a vortex. I love it. It's so much fun. I love the name. I love the art. I love the idea of just like, here's a ball of spiders, but this card is terrible.
It's gonna have a cool animation, but
yeah.
All right, so here's where it can work. If it's up against 2 absolutely terrible rares in Arena, you might pick this because playing 3 1/1s sucks for 6 mana, but drawing 3 random beasts is actually going to be decent to give you, like, because sometimes in Arena it's just running out of steam is what happens, right? So this will probably help a little bit with that, but it's just way overcosted for what it does.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it has to be up against some really, really crappy cards for me to pick it, but that could happen.
And there are some really crappy cards that it could be up against. So I'm sure I'll pick it in Arena a couple times, and I won't be excited, but I'm not going to just be totally angry about it. So
at some point it'll happen, and it'll be fine. It'll probably even win you some games when you get King Crush off of one of the web spinners, right? So.
Yep. This is not the new Crackle. I'm not going nuts about it. It's fine.
This is fine.
I know what I'm getting with this. The Crackle, it might get.
What if it said summon 3 to 5 web spinners?
I might actually.
Or 2 to 5 or something.
I might consider playing it.
It might be played if it was.
Because if you got 5 web spinners for 6 mana, like that's pretty great.
Well, think about you. There's a card. There's literally a card already that gives you 5 wisps. So.
Yeah.
Granted, but wisps don't draw you anything.
That also gives you the flexibility of buffing somebody 5/5.
That's true.
But
that's true.
Anyways, on to our first mage card, the Coldera Drake. It is it's a 6 mana epic dragon, and it has 6 attack, 6 health, so 6/6 for 6, and it reads, you can use your hero power any number of times. Keep in mind, mage specific.
Mage specific. But it's possible you could get this if you recombobulate a 6-drop or something like that.
Absolutely. And it's not a battle cry.
Nope.
So, oh man,
it's persistent effect. And a lot of people oohed and awed about this one too. But using 1 damage for 2 mana as many times as you want is probably not going to make a huge difference. But there will be turns when it will do something for you. And then, of course, there's the Maiden of the Lake that we'll talk about later that lowers your hero power cost to 1. So if you have a bunch of Inspire cards and you can lower the cost of your hero power, then, this card's pretty good. But it's also a 6/6 for 6, so it's fine just on its own, and it's a dragon.
And what if, I was about to say, if Dragon Mage becomes a thing, I think this is an absolute include.
Oh, yeah, this goes in. Because it enables your Blackwing Corruptors, it enables your Technicians, It's definitely going to be in any Dragon Mage deck for sure.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like because of what its ability is, it's going to be kind of like you're going to see like a Dragon Mage Inspire deck type of thing. Someone's going to like mash all that together, and we'll see what that is. I don't know what that is, but this card is fine. This card's decent.
I want to play that deck. That deck sounds really fun.
It does actually. Yeah.
Next card, Justicar Trueheart, 6 mana legendary minion, 6 attack, 3 health, and a battle cry that reads, replace your starting hero power with a better one. This is a neutral legendary, so any class can use it, which means I'm going to swap over here if you're watching visually.
Oh, good. I was just going to say we have to actually
we have
see what these are.
A bunch of new hero powers to look at, which is going to eat up a huge amount of time in this show.
Essentially, it doubles the power of your hero power in most cases.
So Fire Blast for Mage does 2 damage. Summoning a recruit for a Paladin summons 2. A Druid, you gain 2 armor and 2 attack. Rogues, you equip a 2/2 weapon. Heal does 4. But the exceptions to the rules are Hunter, you only do 3 damage, not 4, because 4 would be broken.
4 would be insane.
It'd be just out of this world.
And this lasts for the rest of the game, by the way.
Right.
When you do this, when you play this card, the battle cry persists for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's a battle cry. It is not like an aura effect that only lasts as long as just the card True Heart is alive. She is played. Your hero power permanently changed until the end of the game.
Yes.
Whether you win or lose. So back to the exceptions. So we mentioned Hunter, 3 damage. Shamans, you get to choose the totem you summon.
Correct.
And I would also assume this lets you summon duplicates. So if you want to just keep summoning spell power totem after spell power totem to get the craziest lethal off a crackle you've ever seen, or not because it's crackle and you didn't know it was going to happen, you can do that.
This was confirmed by Worthun, CM Worthun, which is Robert Wayne.
Robert, yeah. I thought so. I couldn't find the actual link, so I didn't want to.
But yeah, he was tweeting about this card like kind of all day.
Gotcha.
There's a bunch of questions about this card, obviously.
Yeah.
It's got pretty bad stats for a 6 mana cost card.
It really does. Like a 6 mana card that can die to a 2-drop is not
true.
Super.
However,
exciting.
though, I don't feel like that's that terrible because you're not going to put this in a deck that's like a tempo deck. You're going to put this in a value deck, right? So, yes, it dies to a 3/2, but it also kills a Koldara Drake, and its attack power is still high enough. It's a threat that must be dealt with, right? And if you play this in a deck that just has threat after threat after threat, eventually they can't deal with your threats, and you now have just like an insane hero power for the rest of the game, right?
You're thinking Control Warrior? You should start getting double armor.
Would probably make good use of this.
Yeah, you get double armor and you bait out some of the removal for your later threats that actually tend to stick around.
Yeah, and the fact is that Control Warrior doesn't worry about using up their mana on every single turn, like their full mana bar. A lot of times, Control Warrior like armors up and passes, and just does things like that. And I think this kind of card is okay in a deck like that. I don't think that there's very many decks that are actually going to utilize this, though, even though its effect is really, really good.
Yeah.
Just for the stats.
Before I move on, I also didn't mention what it does to the Warlock hero power, which is it no longer causes damage when you use it, so you just draw a card.
Yeah, which is, again, though, this won't be in Handlock because they actually want to take damage when they hero power. So,
do you once you reach late game, though?
Because a lot of times, like when people don't attack Handlock, it's because they don't want to do the damage. Well, if you play this, you now, as the Handlock player, don't have the option to do the damage to yourself. So, sure, there are situations like against Hunter, you would rather not be taking the damage. But in most situations, you actually like being able to enable your Molten Giants. So, I don't think this goes in Handlock either.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But, it's a cool card. It's a very fun card. And I hope that I think there's going to be some really cool Inspire decks that definitely use this card. And I think the meta will slow down a little bit with these cards because what I've seen so far, everything seems like it's kind of slowing things down. And in a slower meta, this card will have a lot of value. So,
yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. And I'm curious. The big thing in the back of my mind is, are these cards good enough that that current aggressive decks won't still just outrace you?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, we have no idea.
Right,
really.
Right. We haven't seen the full set, so. But looking at everything so far, I'm looking at this. I'm like, this all seems like they're for control archetypes, which has me very excited.
Yeah.
So.
And I did hear, if you watch some of the games, and I did hear from some of the people who had maybe seen more of the cards, that they were saying they predict things will slow down quite a bit. So I'm hopeful that that's actually what's going to happen. I mean, yes, aggro has its place; it's important, but we haven't really had a control meta ever. And it'd be nice, for a little while.
Yeah,
to play all my greedy decks.
Not a wide-ranging one. Like we've always had control warrior, we've always had handlock.
True, but all these decks have to be able to deal with aggro, right? Like the ones that stick around have some sort of mechanism to be able to deal with aggro.
I want things to slow down because when you get to higher leagues, things do tend to slow down, and it's been the case I feel like for quite a while now. But I want things to slow down for people like me in the middle ranks.
Yeah. And there's we got lower cost cards here that are coming up. Obviously, we started at the highest cost cards, but just what these cards do, everything just feels like it's slowing down a little bit. So,
yeah. Next card, Coda Rider, 6 mana, epic minion, 3 attack, 5 health, and reads Inspire. So, is this our first Inspire card we're talking? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Inspire, summon a 3/5 War Kodo.
which I don't know. Someone asked on my stream if a War Kodo was a beast. I have no idea. I haven't seen a War Kodo yet.
Yeah, that doesn't exist in the game currently, so we have no.
Yeah, and I don't think if you click on the card, like there's any way to. Yeah, they don't show it on its page either. So, no idea. But I don't think that's going to matter too much. I don't think you're going to see this in Hunter decks.
So. No, I don't. Well,
but I mean, maybe a web spinner could get you a War Kodo, right? I don't know.
Well, that's a good question. Well, I don't think it gives you tokens though. It gives you actual cards.
That's true.
And the War Kodo in this scenario would be a token.
Yeah. What other token? Oh yeah, so it doesn't give you chicken, right? The non-angry version of chicken.
Chat room saying it's a beast. So
yes,
I mean,
it is a beast? Okay.
I would assume it's a beast. I haven't seen an official word, but I would assume a Kodo would be a beast.
It seems like it would be, yeah. So this again is a really slow card, and I can't see you ever playing this before turn 8. I don't see why I would play this in a deck yet, unless there's a card out there that I don't know about yet that makes this really good. But seems bad.
Yeah, it's a little funky.
Yeah, possibly you'd have 2 terrible epics and you'd pick this in arena, possibly.
Yeah,
but it has to live a turn if you play it on turn 6, and then if it does, it's amazing. But like this in the same way that everybody thought that you'd see Trogzor and stuff. Like Trogzor didn't really ever stick around because it never was able to get its actual ability to work, right? So this one, yes, you get to control when the ability happens, but it's just really hard to get it. And
yeah, unless there's a Super Maiden of the Lake, which makes your hero power cost 0, so you can go.
And that's already alive, and yeah,
a
lot of ifs here.
Exactly. So without seeing the full set, I'm not sure about this guy. How do you feel about it for arena though?
I like I said, I think it's okay. It's still it's going to have to be up against some pretty bad epics for me to pick it, but. All right. It'll happen sometimes.
Yep. Wilfred Fizzlebang, talked about him a little bit before. He is a Warlock class legendary. He costs 6 mana. He has 4 attack, 4 health, so 4/4 for 6. And he reads, cards you draw from your hero power cost 0.
Correct. So yeah, he seems bad because he's a 4/4 for 6, right? And so you're like, oh, look at all this tempo you lose when you play this. But the fact is, if you actually can wait till turn 8 and play it, and then tap while he's out, you then gain tempo because whatever you draw, you can play right away.
Unless it's a Soulfire.
Oh, yeah. But so I think this card would fit into like incredibly greedy control Warlock, right? It just has a bunch of late game cards. And that's where this will exist.
I think I'm going to put him in my Handlock deck with the 2 Frost Giants.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, if you play him on turn 6, tap into a giant, and then play a giant, you've essentially for 8 mana played an 8/8 and a 4/4, and that's not a tempo loss at all. So that's where he belongs. But time will tell if this actually ends up working out.
Yeah, I'm not super excited about Mr. Fizzlebang here, and I believe he's the only class-specific legendary we've seen so far.
Yes, yeah. He's the only class legendary in the set at this point. Yeah.
Right.
Which means we likely will be getting one for each class.
Just like we did in GVG.
Exactly. Yep.
On to Nexus Champion Sarad. He is a neutral legendary minion. He costs 5 mana. He has 4 attack, 5 health, and reads Inspire. Add a random spell to your hand. Cool.
This is cool. Whoa. Sorry, Caps, for chat room. Somebody just asked, briefly getting back to Wilfred, if he works with Cro-Magus. And yes, he does, because Cro-Magus works with Life Tap. So this doesn't change the fact that Life Tap is drawing. This will work with Cro-Magus.
That's cool. Although
that's a really tough situation to create, by the way.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever actually gotten Cro-Magus to work. I'm pretty sure he's died the next my opponent's next turn every damn time I played Cro-Magus.
Yeah.
So, including this past week during the brawl. Just poor Cro-Magus, man. He just dies.
Well, I told you about my brawl dream with the 3 mind controls, but yeah, that's like the only time it's happened in a long time. So
yeah. So back
but
to
he's still a dragon that enables dragon stuff. So there you go.
Dragon that enables dragon stuff.
Yep.
So back to Nexus Champion Sarad. This is a super cool card.
This is a cool card. Yeah. I mean, generally spells are pretty decent. So the chances of drawing a good spell are pretty high, and it's any spell from the game. So you can get spells that have nothing to do with your class, And if you watched the, like you said, it turned off, so maybe not everybody caught this. But there was a couple of times during the show matches where people drew lethal with this. I think one time somebody got an eviscerate, and then another time somebody got a mind blast. So you're going to see a lot of cool. This will be like the Trollden card. A lot of cool plays will come. You get some lethals out of nowhere. And I think at 5 mana, 4/5, it's okay. So, if you could get it off one time, it's pretty damn good. And you get, whatever your hero power is, you get that too. So it's just value, man. It's value all the way.
Yeah, a lot of these Inspire ones, I've just been in the back of my head using Mage as an example. So I'm like, well, if I spent, like for example, the way I run it in my head is like, well, if I spend, let's see, if I spend 7 mana, get a 4/5, deal 1 targeted damage, and get a random spell, that seems worth it to me. Absolutely,
yeah. But and I think there will be times when you just play this as a tempo card on turn 5, and it's fine because it will contest. It will contest things like piloted shredders, things that get played on turn 4, and then it's your turn 5. You play this. I think it will actually work out quite well.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
If it was a 5/4, we might be looking at this card going, I don't know. But as a 4, it's got Yeti stats.
I so much rather have more health than attack.
Yeah.
And within reason, we'll get to a certain medic later on, and I'll be saying something different. But anyway, also once more before we move on to the next card, back to Mr. Fizzlebang. Chat room saying that if you were to do the Cro-Magus thing where you draw a card and whatnot, that the copy created by Cro-Magus
copy would not be 0. That's okay.
Zero.
That makes
that
the
makes
copy
sense
that comes out is different.
Right, because that's not drawn, that's like created.
Yes. So you won't get 2 0-cost cards. You get 1 0-cost card, and then you'll get a copy of that costs its full amount.
Yeah, yes. And again, this is theory, we're assuming here.
Yeah.
We're not actually sure. Next card, Thunder Bluff Valiant, our first Shaman card. It is a rare minion, costs 5 mana, has 3 attack, 6 health, and reads Inspire, give your totems +2 attack.
This card is awesome.
This card is
love this card.
I am losing my mind over the Shaman cards we've seen so far.
Shaman is going to be back, and we're going to get a really cool Inspire Totem Shaman. And this card is going to be very key in that. You're going to run 2 of these for sure.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to overwhelm the opponent with little weenie totems that get awesome and strong, and it's going to be sweet. So, and the fact that it's a 3/6 for 5, it matches up with like Fen Creeper, right? So we already kind of have precedence in the game that a 5 mana 3/6 is okay, and a Fen Creeper is a fine card.
Yeah.
So I'll pick this in Arena. Like every single time I'll pick this in Arena because you totem up quite a bit in Arena.
I think this card alone is really increasing Shaman's chances for a good run in Arena.
Yeah. And the other thing too is this is going to force, similar with Paladin, this is going to force people to clear your totems.
Yep.
People cannot ignore your healing totem anymore. Like, you gotta kill it, because if Thunder Bluff comes out, then you're gonna you're going to be wishing that you had cleared
Again, slowing down the game. I love it. And also, if they're hitting my totems, they're not hitting me. And one of Shaman's biggest weaknesses is the lack of healing. So if I'm taking less damage because folks are terrified of my totems, awesome.
Exactly.
Sign me up.
Put the fear of totems in everybody.
Exactly. Fear my totems, everyone. They are coming. They are coming for you. Until we realize, as awesome as Shamans are, all the other classes are still even more awesome.
Yeah, that would be wouldn't that be just the thing?
If that
Shaman gets all these cool cards, and like, yeah, but everybody else got even cooler cards, man. So
yeah, if the dust clears at the end of this and Shaman and Priest are still at the bottom of the Hearthstone totem pole, I'm going to be a very unhappy person.
I really think that Priest and Shaman are about to come up in a big way. If the game slows down, those 2 classes are going to do fantastic.
I think so too. Shaman was my first love, man. I want it to be good so bad, and I hate Mech Shaman. I can't stand playing it.
It's going to come back, dude. I promise you.
Yeah. Next card, Poisoned Blade. I always have a hard time telling what weapons are what. I'm assuming this is a rogue weapon.
This is a rogue weapon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Poison Blade, it is a rogue weapon. It's epic rarity. It costs 4 mana, has 1 attack, 3 durability, and reads, your hero power gives this weapon +1 attack instead of replacing it.
This card sucks.
Agreed.
This is a bad card. This is way overcosted. What the hell, man? 4 to just play it? And then you have to spend 2 to buff it?
And it's epic rare. I mean, thank you. That means I'll see it less in Arena. What the crap is going... I don't understand this card.
I have no clue. Like, if this was a 3-mana card, I think it would still be too much. Like, it's just... If it was 2 mana, it'd be okay.
Yeah.
Because at least then, for 4 mana, you end up with a 2/3 weapon.
I
right?
like the idea behind the effect. I like that this now exists in the game because we haven't really seen this outside of early beta Rogue when its hero power did something like this already, didn't it? What was the
kinda? Well, so the original Rogue hero power was create a 1/2 weapon, and if you had a weapon equipped, it just added 1 attack to your weapon.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, so but once that went away, we didn't see this effect really anywhere else, at least with your hero power. I mean, obviously
that was OP as hell.
Yeah, you have things like upgrade and whatnot that can increase the attack of your weapon, but never anything through a hero power. And I like this. I think it's cool. But yeah, this card is just hot garbage.
It's terrible, man. And it's so for 6 mana, I end up with a 2/3 weapon over 2, and then that takes me like 2 turns probably. And I might have already used it once. Like a Shaman has a friggin' 2/3 for 2 with 1 overload. So how does this make sense mana-wise? I have no clue. So I don't know. Maybe there's a card we haven't seen yet that makes this make sense.
I don't know. The weapons that have been revealed so far, we'll get into another one later, have me quite confused.
Yeah, they're done. But I mean, I don't know. Like, do we need better weapons? Weapons are pretty good already, but this card is not going in anything. Unless there's something out there we don't know about that makes it amazing, it's not going in anything.
Yep. And again, bad cards need to exist. Though
sure.
Why this is an epic is so like I said, I'm glad I won't be seeing a lot of it in my arena runs, but
yeah.
Not that Rogue
in the
is one
chat makes an interesting point. If it gave your weapon +1/+1 every time you hero powered, that'd be interesting. That might be OP at that point.
But that'd be horrifying. People would have to start running weapon.
You'd have to run oozes, yeah.
Yeah, because this thing would just be an infinite and ever growing. It'd just be a win condition. An
infinite and growing weapon. That'd be crazy.
It'd be a win condition by the end of it.
Yep.
Next card, another Shaman specific minion, the Draenei Totem Carver. Rare, 4 mana, 4 attack, 4 health. All right. Battlecry reads, gain +1/+1 for each friendly totem. Sign me up.
Yeah, I mean this is fine. I don't know if this is like going to be the card that like is the like this really helps that. Like I think you might see like still some of the other 4-drops in the game, right? Like you still might see piloted shredders over this guy because what you're going to get out of the shredder, and it might be hard to actually already have the totems on the board by the time turn 4 comes around, and then this will like die to a piloted shredder if you don't. So it'll be like kind of unplayable on turn 4. But I think this is a fine card. I need to see this deck in its entirety to really know does this have a place yet? But if you're playing a totem-based inspired deck, you feel like this would go in, right? Just naturally, it seems like it would.
I mean, even if I got just a 1/1/1 off of this, I'd be happy. It's a 5/5, doesn't die to BGH.
Yeah, a 5/5 for 4 would be great.
Yeah.
But we've already seen there's another card that does something similar to this. It's a 5 mana 4/4. For every other minion on the board, it gets +1/+1, and that hasn't really ever gained any traction. So I'm a little bit skeptical at this point, but I think it's fine. I don't think it's like bad or good. It's just kind of like we'll see what else is out there, and then we'll make a decision if this lands in the 4 slot.
I really like it for Arena. Again.
Yeah, I think in Arena you're going to probably be toteming at some point anyway. The thing is, though, again, because of some of these other cards, I think people are going to start killing your totems off. So it might actually be hard to get this guy as a 5/5. It might actually be difficult.
That is true.
But this is another card that puts the fear of the totem into people. So
the existence of this card, yes, is going to. Yeah. It will be totem hunting season, folks, when TGT finally goes live. I say finally. We just found out about it, and it's probably coming very soon.
Yeah, but so A Smith makes this is what I was saying is that I don't know if this goes over some of the other 4-drops out there, and Fire Guard is a great example. Like a 3 mana or 4 mana 3/6 that becomes a 6/6 sometimes, or a 5/6 or whatever. I think still is better than this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's where it kind of falls short.
Yeah. Let's talk about Maiden of the Lake, who we've already talked about a few times. Maiden of the Lake is a neutral minion, common rarity, 4 mana, 2 attack, 6 health, and reads your hero power costs 1.
Everybody oohed and awed about this card as well. I don't think there's anything OP about it. Seems fine. It's probably going to go in all the Inspire decks. that really need to be able to play their hero powers a lot. But I don't know. I just don't know.
I mean, she's hard to remove. 6 health.
6 health
on turn 4, and that's the big thing. Is since this is an aura effect, it's not a battle cry. The maiden needs to be on your board and not silenced for this effect to be working.
Yeah.
She needs to have a lot of health.
It's true. Like if you're gonna make that, and so one thing to note about this is that the hero power costs 1, not 1 less. So you cannot stack these and then have a 0 mana hero power.
Yeah, you can't have
Some people were freaking out about.
Can't have 2 maidens of the lake, unfortunately.
Yeah, so 2 maidens and the Koldara Drake, and then you just ping your opponent until he's dead. It's not gonna happen.
That would be so amazing.
It would be ridiculous. But I mean, yeah, I think this card is fine. I don't know if it's necessarily gonna make its way into anything. But you'll probably pick it in arena. It's a common, so it's totem killer. You're gonna kill your totems and dudes with it. And I guess I would say it's like slightly better than the turtle now, the Snapjaw, because of the fact that your hero power will cost 1, allows you to like gain more tempo than that 1 health would give, over the next few turns. So,
I definitely like maiden more than Snapjaw.
Yeah.
Unless you're running
1 less health doesn't really do that much, right?
Unless you're really going hardcore into beast synergy.
Yeah, and if it was a 1/7, then I would say this card is terrible. But as a 2/6, it actually can do some things.
Yeah,
And
chat room. No, you're right. Like at face value, 1 versus 1 piloted shredder, absolutely a stronger pick.
Oh yeah, if it was up against piloted shredder, I would still pick piloted shredder. Yes.
Yeah. Some of my favorite art though so far. I really like this one. Also, one of my favorite quest lines from Wrath of the Lich King.
Yeah. You know what? I really want to see this card golden. The next few cards, actually. I mean, look at some of the artwork on this card.
Yeah. Actually, we're like 3 of my favorite art pieces in a row of what has been shown so far. The next card is the Sacred Warrior. It's a priest minion, common rarity, costs 4 mana, 3 attack, 5 health, and reads whenever a character is healed, gain +2 attack.
Yep. This card's pretty decent.
It's a pretty fantastic card, I think, for priests.
I think so. I mean, if you think about what priests had before, you pretty much had Akanai Soul Priest, and for a time they were running Yetis and stuff. But I think we're going to see like Tempo Priest now, and like decent Tempo Priest. Because the last time we really saw Tempo Priest was when Priest was running Undertaker, right? So I think we're going to start to see some priests just like drop a 1 drop, a 2 drop, a 3 drop, and a 4 drop, and then just try to use their hero power to outvalue as the game goes on. And I think this is kind of the start of that. Imagine being able to like drop this on turn 4. It has to be dealt with, or else you're getting so much value out of your hero power.
Yeah, and with 5 health, it's not super easy to deal with.
Nope.
Well, yeah, you would need
Dingo stats.
Yeah, I'm thinking that you need like a death spite with 1 durability so that the whirlwind goes off after it's over.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be hard to take off the board if it's played on turn 4 for sure, unless the other guy already has tempo. So,
absolutely,
I think you'll definitely see this card get played.
And again, amazing art. This is my favorite priest armor set. This is where we're getting into the stuff where I'm so happy about it, because I've seen this hero in my game of World of Warcraft. I love it.
Yeah,
seen people.
You're also going to pick. You're going to pick this card in Arena quite a bit as well, because again, like that hero power gets so much work in Arena. So. All the time you're using it. And it's a common, so it's going to be seen a lot.
Yeah, you're going to see. Priest getting a big arena boost. I mean, we mentioned it in past episodes. I took it from limited resources. Ask yourself when reviewing a card, what does this card ask of me? And this card asks very little. It's play me and do priest things.
Dude, it's not even. You don't even have to heal a minion. You can heal yourself.
Yeah.
You can heal the other guy. You can heal the other guy's face and then get to attack.
Yeah.
So like then you can actually emote. The light will burn you, heal him, and then actually do 2 more attack. The light literally burned him.
Love this card. So many hearts. On to the next card, Tournament Medic. Not a pre-specific card, despite what the name says. It
seems like it would be, right?
Yeah, it does. It does, especially when you read what the effect is. It's a common rarity. Has costs 4 mana, 1 attack, 8 health. Confused. And it reads, Inspire, restore.
We finally got that 4 mana 1/8.
Yeah. You know what I've been outside Blizzard every day with a cardboard sign that says, "Where's my 1/8 for 4?"
Where's my 1/8?
It has an Inspire effect that reads, Restore 2 health to your hero. So It's a neutral. Again, I always thought, like, when I first saw this, I just assumed. I read it, I'm like, oh, priest card. And then I looked at the border, I'm like, oh, no, it's not. It's a neutral. Yep. So any hero can add this into their deck and get healing off of it every time they use their hero power. But I got to say, man, I don't know about this card.
I don't know either. I mean, maybe it's the Shaman healing that you were talking about earlier, but I don't think so.
No, I mean, Shaman healing, you just put a heal bot in, man. You get.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're trying to heal yourself, you put heal bots in. You don't put this guy in. So I don't know. Again, it's a common card. It's going to be up against some pretty crappy cards sometimes in Arena, and you'll pick it, and that's where you'll see it. I don't think you're going to see this in any actual decks.
Yeah.
Unless okay. So the other issue too is that it's like 2 health. Your hero doesn't proc like card draw with the cleric, right? But I guess you could proc Light Wardens. So, you heal something and you heal yourself too at the same time. I don't know. But I still don't think it's going to happen anymore.
No, I don't think we're going to see. This is going to be, I think, a begrudging pick in Arena at best.
Yeah. If I'm playing Priest and I see this in Arena and it's up against 2 terrible cards, I will be okay with this. Because, again, it's like I'll heal a creature and it'll heal me at the same time type of thing. Mm-hmm. But... and you see a lot of paladins in Arena, so it's your dude slayer. I don't know. Trying to find a silver lining here, and I'm reaching pretty far.
Yeah, in your arena draft, if you were forced to take Inner Fire and you see this later on, why not?
There you go. Yeah.
You get an 8/8.
Good. There you go. So the combo priest decks.
It's build a giant. That's what it's.
Yep. Exactly. Inner Fire priest.
Exactly. Onto another weapon, the King's Defender. This is a warrior weapon. It's rarity. I hate saying that. Has 3 mana, 3 attack, 2 durability, and it reads Battle Cry. For every minion with taunt you control, gain +1 durability.
Somebody in chat, A. Smith, just called this Fiery Lose Axe. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, you're going to build a crappy deck making this thing work.
Yeah, that's with trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Who knows? Maybe some amazing taunts are on the way in this set. We don't know.
That's a good point. We don't know. Maybe there's some taunt warrior that's just going to be insane. Fatigue warrior would play this card, and just constantly taunt, and you can never get through. And then it plays like just the car, and it just gets 4 health every turn, and it just fatigues you out. Possibly.
Even then, like, to get value out of this, you really want at least 2 taunts on, because if you just get 1 out of this, it's like, well, I wish I had just played Fiery War Axe last turn.
Sure. Yeah, you're waiting to turn 3 to do something you could have done on turn 2 anyway.
And then what is the chances you have a taunt down by turn 3?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so maybe Mech Warrior plays a Noyotron and then plays King's Defender? I don't know. But... still, we have to see the rest of the cards in the set to know what the plan is with this card, because okay, so I build this amazing weapon with tons of durability, and then you just Harrison Jones it and draw 5 cards. That's it just seems a little bit risky for and again, like I said, you build a crappy deck trying to make it work,
Yep.
And that's just always a bad thing. When you have to build your deck to be kind of bad to make one specific card work, it usually is a bad idea.
Yeah. Which at the moment is what it looks like we'd have to do. Who knows down the road? We'll see.
Yeah.
I really like the concept behind this effect, though.
Yes. Yeah. Goldshire Footman synergy. No.
Oh, done.
No. You
done.
Shut your mouth.
I'm building my Goldshire Footman deck.
So your curve is Goldshire Footman on 1, a Noyotron on 2, King's Defender on 3. You got a 3/4 weapon. There you go.
Dude.
And then you never get to play your Deathbite. It sucks. It's terrible.
It's really good fun. However, more weapons for you to come across in Arena, and I think this is an okay weapon in Arena if you're not finding Fiery War Axes.
This is the point I made on my stream, was that in Arena you'll pick it because it's a weapon.
We've been doing this too long. I'm really sick of agreeing with you, Dills. We need to fight about something.
Yeah. Well, the next one, let's fight over it.
All right. We'll find a way to fight about this. Effigy. It is a mage.
This card sucks. All right, sorry.
Effigy. It is a mage spell. It's actually a secret. Specifically, it costs 3 mana. It's rare, and it reads secret. When a friendly minion dies, summon a random minion with the same cost. Cool.
This card is awesome. Damn it.
This card's really cool. I like this.
Damn it. We were supposed to disagree. I mean, okay. Remember when we hated duplicate?
Yeah, and I still kind of do.
Yeah. Well, duplicate works in specific decks that do cool things with it, right? So duplicating a bunch of Emperor Thorasons and stuff like that. But this card, what it does, I mean, you're going to have to play kind of a greedier deck to make this card really work, but it's like, with Recombobulator, you recombobulate something and it hasn't died yet, and so you kind of lose that last little bit of value it would have gotten.
Yeah.
This, you can literally use an entire card up, and then, and like, imagine playing Effigy and then playing, Effigy like turn 4 and then into like, Effigy turn 5 and then into something like Thorason turn 6, and you can't let Thorason live, but if you don't, or if you do kill it, you give them another 6-drop. It's gonna create some awkward situations for your opponent.
Yeah.
You're gonna turn your Thorasons into another Thorason, or into Sylvanuses and stuff like that. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and there's not even anything saying here that it has to be within the same class. You could get another class's X mana cost minion. You could
get a Koldara Drake with your which is cool.
I really hope this makes it into meta decks, because this is going to make tournaments so exciting.
Yeah,
this is going to be one of those moments. Yeah, this is going to be one of those moments like the Unstable Portal, like the Shredders dying and seeing what comes out of them. Then everyone watching a tournament kind of hangs on. It's like, okay, shh, here it comes. What is it? Oh my God, it's a Ragnaros. But
yeah, there's going to be some awesome moments, and I think that this will make it into tournament decks. I really do.
I think so
it's
too.
that good of a card.
I am once again in complete and total agreement with you, Dills.
Yep. Look at this. Look what's happening. We need Jocelyn here to be like, this card's great. This card sucks. And then we're like, what? You're insane. Yeah. We're missing that right now.
You're insane. And then she's like, check your ranks versus mine, boys. And we're like, oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry, Jocelyn.
Okay,
fine. The learner has now become the master.
It's true.
That's definitely what happened. We've been struck down.
My excuse is Dills to whatevs. That's
Dills to whatevs.
I now play the weirdest decks. I've been playing a lot of Milkshake on Ladder, by the way.
Mine is Garrett's Getting Married 2015.
There you go. Yeah. 2 valid excuses, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's good. Next card, Coliseum Manager, a neutral minion, rare rarity, 3 mana, 2 attack, 5 health, has an Inspire trigger. Return this minion to your hand.
Okay, this card's bad.
What? Why?
That's bad.
Why would it? No. That what is to this card?
Oh yeah.
I must have glazed over this one because I
thought you were gonna convince me that this was good.
No.
And I was gonna be like, whoa.
I don't even like the art on this one.
No.
I don't like anything about this card.
No, I mean, we don't have any decks that benefit from bouncing right now.
No.
Like there's no like effect in this game where like bouncing something is gonna be awesome unless. No, this is just bad. And its stats aren't even that good for what it basically take away the ability to use your hero power. And then like if it was like a 3 mana 3/5, then I could see this, you know what I mean? Because you get like an insane tempo boost and then don't get to use your hero power, but oftentimes you don't want to anyway, right?
And also with 3 on 3, you could trade, maybe, because like I'm trying to think, what do you want from this? And like I'm thinking, well, maybe you trade, take damage, bounce it back, and then play it again, and it's another 3/5. But yeah, I'm thinking too hard. Again, like maybe once we've seen all the cards, maybe there's a bounce deck that comes out.
Yeah,
of this.
maybe there's something to it.
But I sincerely doubt it. I really doubt that's something we're gonna get out of this.
Yeah, and the 3 mana 2/5 already exists, right? And the Flame Keeper. What's the Druid card? The
Keeper of the Flame.
Keeper of the Flame? That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a you can choose whether it's a 5/2 or a 2/5, like.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's already there, and that has no drawback, right? And this one has this draw. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not gonna play it.
I gotta give props to chat room real quick. Who said? Oh no, where'd it go? Okay, Splice Stream says the Angry Chicken, where tryhards are bad and casuals are going to legend.
Yep,
I love that.
That's us.
And then Rum soaked right under that, talking about me spending too much time on my wedding. Says priorities, Garrett.
Yeah.
So clearly,
Druid of the Flame, not Keeper of the Flame.
Sorry, yeah, Druid of the Flame.
Yeah.
Of course, just Druid of the whatever.
Nobody plays it. Druid of the nobody plays it. There you go.
Druid of the what are you thinking? Next card, Silverhand Regent. It's a neutral minion, common rarity, 3 mana, 3 attack, 3 health, and an inspired trigger that reads summon a 1/1 Silverhand Recruit.
Now everyone's a paladin.
To re-clarify, this is a neutral minion. I am offended.
I actually called this a paladin card at first because I didn't even look at anything but the artwork and what it said, and I was like, oh wait, this is a neutral card.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I'm like, okay, so it's wearing tier 3 paladin, it's a blood elf with blonde hair, it's called Silverhand Regent, and it summons the Silverhand Recruits. Clearly a paladin card. Oh no, it's neutral. Nope. Okay.
Neutral card. Everyone gets recruits now. And how does that make paladins feel? Garrett as a paladin player.
As a primarily paladin player, although lately it's been nothing but mid-range hunter. I can't kick it, man. I can't just.
Yeah, it's all right, dude. Yeah. Embrace the dark side.
I can't. It's a fun deck. I understand it. 79% win rate right now. It's going all right. But as a primarily paladin player, yeah, I'm offended. You shouldn't get my Silverhand Recruits.
Yeah, what the hell? That's my hero power.
What happens when you somehow get a Quartermaster from like Unstable Portal or something? This offends me.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you build your mage deck around the very slim chance that you will get a Quartermaster, so that you can play this card. Yeah, I don't know. It's fine.
So I guess though I thought I saw this card and I was like, oh cool, like that's a ton of value. But then I started thinking about it and I was like, I don't think I want to play this because I think on turn 3 there's probably still other cards I think are going to be better. And also, unless Patron becomes not a thing, I don't see summoning a bunch of 1/1s being that great. Paladin's kind of forced into it, and then also has ways to buff their 1/1s, right?
Yeah.
If you're not a deck that already has that built in, do you really want to be popping out a ton of 1/1s? And then also, do you want to force yourself into using your hero power all the time? I don't know. So, I'm not convinced on this card yet, but unless there's maybe there's some really, really cool inspired decks that will make a lot of use out of this, and you can play some cool buffing cards. Play this and then do something in the next turn, defender between this and the 1/1, and you got some value. But I'm not convinced yet.
Yeah, neither am I, man. It's interesting. Maybe might be a paladin deck where you play it, but
think about someone just mentioned in chat the Violet Teacher, but think about what the Violet Teacher allows you to do is you can pop out 3 or 4 of those things in one turn, right, and just get a ton of value. You're only going to be able to get 1 a turn, and you're going to be spending 2 mana to do your hero power, and then sure you get this 1/1, so your hero power is more valuable, but I'm not convinced yet.
Unless, hey man, if you play a mage and you have Caldera Drake.
Sure, then you can just, pop out 2 of them. or 3 of them, or 4
of them,
sure.
Depending on how much mana you have.
But you're using 2 mana each time. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, you combine it with Maiden of the Lake, and you've got all this mana, and...
Yep. That's true.
Yeah. This card interests me. I'm not sure how it's going to pan out.
No, yeah, again, like I said, there's value there. I don't know if it's actually going to be realized unless some sort of deck is able to take advantage of what it does.
Yeah. Again, think it's fine for Arena. It's an okay 3-drop, and it might live. And because I don't think on turn 5, I don't think it's actually worth it. You're only getting 4 worth of stats for 5 mana. But drop it on 3. If it lives, the next turn you use a hero power, you get a 1/1 out of the deal, and you still have 2 mana left. Cool. Go for it.
The problem, though, is that on turn 4, I'd much rather just play a 4-drop.
Absolutely, but you don't. Sometimes you don't draw the 4-drop. So
exactly, yeah. Okay. I think in Arena you'll see this card picked.
Yeah,
because again, in Arena, hero power is much more valuable.
Yep, it's a 3/3 for 3, and it might give you some tokens. Who knows?
Yep. Exactly.
Moving on to Tuskar Totemic, a Shaman minion. It's common. It has 3 mana, 3 attack, 2 health. All right, this battle cry better impress me if it's a 3/2 for 3. Summon any random totem is its battle cry.
And it says any in capitals because there's not, you look at this, you might go, but all the totems are crappy. Well, there's other totems that you play as
right.
cards.
So, but it can summon one of your hero power totems, or it can summon one of your card totems.
Yes. So, you've got the Manatide totem, you get the Flame Tongue totem, and then you've got the new Totem Golem.
You also, what's the one that heals? What's the one that heals you?
The Vitality totem.
Vitality, the one I never play unless I get it again out of an unstable portal or something weird.
Yeah, it's a 2-drop, so it comes out of Shredder sometimes.
Yep.
But so one thing to note is that when you summon things, they always go on the right? So if you already have a minion on the board, you always want to play this to the left. So that way, if you do get a Flame Tongue totem, it goes in between them.
That's cool. I didn't even think about that.
Things to note.
Yeah.
But the Totem Golem, which we haven't talked about yet, is a 3/4, and it can summon that. So you have the ability to do for 3 mana a 3/2 and a 3/4.
That's one of the possible outcomes. You also might just get one of your lackluster hero power totems.
Sure, but I think even in that case, a 3/2 and then a totem that should cost 2, essentially for 1, is I think okay. And I think you're going to see totem-based shamans playing this card. I definitely think you're going to see that, because think about then you got your Thunderbluff Valiant that's going to come out. I think the RNG is heavy enough in your favor that you're going to get value out of this more often than you won't, right? Like the worst case would be to get a 0/2 when you don't need, like, without this, like a healing totem or something like that. But that might even be good in that situation. So
then you buff it later, or you throw a flame tongue totem next to it, or I agree with you. It's totem shaman all the way. Bring it on.
Yeah, I think we're going to see this in that very specific deck we're talking about, which is the new Totem Shaman. Yeah.
Also, that Tuskar in the artwork couldn't be happier to be putting that totem down.
He's like displaying his junk, right?
Yeah,
like,
but
he's kind of like, hey, check it out, man.
I like that he sounds vaguely like Cheech all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, that's why I mean, look at it, look at him. That's what he sounds like.
You got all kinds of.
Hey, I'm a Tuskar Totemic.
Oh, jeez.
Check out my package.
Please send your emails directly to Dills. Moving on to a hunter-specific spell, Lock and Load. It's epic. It costs 2 mana, and it reads, each time you cast a spell this turn, add a random hunter card to your hand.
Whoa, no way. Face Hunter got buffed so much. That's what everybody was saying.
I mean, it's cool, but
yeah,
you need you need a decent amount of mana to make this work. So no Face Hunter did not get a buff.
No. I was like, what the hell are these people talking about around me? This is not a Face Hunter card ever.
Yeah,
never. This is going to be a whole new type of hunter that's going to use this, because you're going to have to fill your deck with a bunch of spells, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're going to have to wait until a late game turn to get a bunch of value out of this. No.
Yeah, man, I'm going to start running like Arcane Shot again and Cobra Shot.
Yeah, and like tracking and Hunter's Mark and all that kind of, all those shots.
I have 1 Hunter's Mark in my mid-range deck at the moment.
Well, yeah, and it's because of what it does, right? And
right, exactly.
Stuff like you can Hunter's Mark something that's really big and you couldn't deal with it, and then you can Knife Juggalo into Unleash the Hounds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's still like a good card. But you're going to have to overload your deck with these. You know what I mean? And so the deck that's going to play this is going to be kind of weird, and I don't know if it's going to be good.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. It'd have to be a whole new kind of hunter. The current hunter archetypes we have, I don't think really works with this, because they do have spells, which like Saber emails, we're aware they have spells, but you really kind of pace them out.
Yeah, and they're there to add tempo in most cases. So the only really spells that you have is, Unleash the Hounds. You have your traps, which you oftentimes want to just play for free with Mad Scientist anyway, and then you have things like Kill Command and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And you don't play a lot of the cheap spells in Hunter generally, but this is going to force you to do that if you want to use this card. So to me, I look at it and I kind of think Feign Death. Like, looks awesome, looks amazing. And when you have to build a deck to make that card work, the deck kind of sucks.
Yep. Yeah, a build around me card better be really good if you're going to build around it.
Yeah, but I do think that people are going to try. People are really going to try, and somebody might succeed and come up with something awesome.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm not just throwing this under the bus completely, but as it stands, without again knowing everything that's coming down the pipe, I'm unsure of it, and if I had to grade it right now, I wouldn't be super excited about it.
Yeah, it's a super cool card though. The other problem too is it doesn't give you random hunter spells; it gives you random hunter cards. So
you could get.
And again, this is going to be a new hunter archetype that ever makes this work. It's going to be a late game hunter archetype, and I don't know. We'll see what it is.
With my luck, I would just get a bunch of web spinners after using Ball of Spiders after casting this.
A bunch of Timberwolves is what you get.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Fallen Hero, another mage minion. It's a rare. It's 2 mana. It has 3 attack, 2 health, so a 3/2 for 2, and it reads your hero power deals 1 extra damage.
Cool stuff.
I think it's a cool card.
Yeah, it's so again though, it's like I feel like this card falls into the Storm Weedle Sniper cool card might not actually work
Yeah.
category, you know? Because that card like seemed awesome and then it just never really stuck, you know? It didn't really take, but this card I think is awesome, but I feel like it's more of a late game card rather than what you think, but it's a card that can be played early. But I feel like mages right now, it's like you're either playing freeze mage, but maybe this goes in like the inspired dragon-y mage that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
But it's going to be going up against Sorcerer's Apprentice and stuff like that, and you're probably going to have to pick one or the other. And I don't know. That's a tough choice to make. But it's a 3-2.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I think we're going to see a lot of this in Arena.
Definitely in Arena.
I think it's fine. This, yeah. I mean, it is rare, so you won't come across it super often, but you will pick it. There will be times you will pick it, and it's not a terrible pick.
No, and the interesting thing to note about this card is that if you do manage to, it'll come out of piloted shredders and stuff. If you do get this in other classes, any hero power that says it deals damage, this will add 1 to that. So that means Warlocks will take 1 extra damage when life tapping if they have this out on them.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's finally that nerf to Warlock everyone's looking for.
Yeah. As far as constructed, I think we're gonna need to see some type of new Inspire Mage if we're gonna see regular play.
Yeah, it'll be like I said, like that Dragon-y Inspire Mage that plays the Kaldara Drakes. This will be in there. This will be in there for sure.
Yep. Garrison Commander is our next card, a neutral minion. It's epic. It has 2 mana, 2 attack, 3 health, and it reads, you can use your hero power twice on your turn. I don't know why they had to specify my turn. I wasn't expecting to use it on theirs.
Not on the other guy's turn, okay? Don't even try it, Garrett. Yeah, this is a weird card. What's up with this artwork, by the way? Is the guy's head being smushed?
Dude, don't ask me. This is another one I'm a little lost on.
Yeah.
It also
I
looks
don't know.
like...
It's a 2-3 for 2. It's fine, But again, if he plays on 2, you can't hero power twice on 3, so...
Yeah.
But it's an interesting card. I think you'll pick it in Arena. I guess we're going to see this in some Inspired decks, but we don't know all the cards yet, so we don't know which deck this works in yet.
Yeah.
Right now, out of the Inspired cards that we have seen, there's no deck that I think goes, oh yeah, Inspired deck. We haven't seen all the stuff yet. So
yeah. Totem Golem, second to last card we're going to talk about tonight. It's another Shaman card. It's a totem, but it's also a minion. Which totems are minions? Yeah. But you'll get my surprise here in a sec. It costs 2 mana. It has 3 attack, 4 health, and it has an overload of 1.
Yeah. This card is sick.
Yeah, and it's a common. We're just all over Arena, man. Shaman Arena, man. I'm so excited for it.
I mean, you're gonna play a 2-drop into a 2-drop on turn 3 probably, but that's fine. And imagine the scenario: we play this on turn 2, then you kill their 2-drop, and then you totem up and get a healing totem, and then you just keep on getting value out of your totem golem. This is going to be the 2-drop that keeps on giving, man. This is an amazing card. Yeah. And the fact that it's a totem means it's going to interact with all these new totem interaction cards like the Thunderbluff Valiant and Tuskar Totemic and all that stuff too. So, yeah, this is a good card. This is the beginning of bringing Shaman back right here. Nobody else gets a 3/4 on 2.
How Shaman got its groove back.
Mm-hmm. And this has great artwork as well.
Oh, love it.
By the way.
Absolutely love it. It's just giant, scary totem thing with fire coming out of its head.
I cannot wait to see the golden version of this card.
Yeah.
It is super cool.
Yeah. And since we were going in mana cost descending, we are going to end this discussion with the most epic card I've ever seen, Dills. I give you the Lowly Squire.
Yeah, this guy looks like he's out of a Pixar movie or something.
He looks like the guy that used to follow me around as my pet in Lich King. So Lowly Squire is a neutral minion. He is common. He's 1 mana, has 1 attack, has 2 health, so 1/2 for 1, and he has an Inspire trigger that reads gain +1 attack. So every time you use your hero power with the Squire out, he will get a little stronger.
Yep. but still sucks.
Yeah, I don't think it's a great card.
No. If he was like the Undertaker and it was like inspire gain +1/+1, then we'd see this in every deck. And everyone would be playing Inspired decks.
Yeah. Do you think Undertaker ruined already ruined the party for this card?
Yeah, like they're never gonna do that again. Like there's never gonna make a 1-drop that just grows and grows and grows for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all Undertaker's fault.
Yeah, you really
Lily
never
Squire got screwed by Undertaker.
Currently, we never hope to use our hero power on turn 2.
Yeah.
We want to play a minion.
No, we want to play a 2-drop.
Exactly. So. Yeah, Lowly Squire's strange, and then playing him on turn 3 where you can play him and hero power, you're only getting a 2/2 out of the deal, and it's on turn 3, so you're already falling behind.
Yeah, so I don't think this card's getting much love. He's like a Goldshire Footman without the taunt. He's even worse. Goldshire Footman, you finally found yourself a card that's worse than you. Congratulations. You did it.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah. Like there has to be bad cards, like we said.
Absolutely, has to be.
Here he is.
Has to be.
The Lowly Squire.
And if you get stuck with an arena, it's not so bad. I mean, you never know what'll happen. Maybe it lives.
Yeah, I'd still rather have
There's a million and one things. There's a million and one things I'd rather have.
But almost anything else.
Just saying. So that's gonna wrap it up for our discussion there for now.
We'll have a lot more of this to come, I'm sure, as more cards are revealed. This was the first big block, so this took a long time, but, as cards come out, it'll be a few at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, this is exciting.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm so
When
ready
the announcement came out, my Twitter immediately filled up with people going, "Oh, how disappointed are you? There's no tournament mode." And I'm just like, can we just bask in excitement for 2 seconds? Can we just, please?
Let's just all talk about how there's going to be new cards coming out first.
That's great.
And then we'll bemoan the lack of tournament mode later.
Yeah, and like I said, I wasn't really expecting it in the first place, so
exactly.
I'm not really that disappointed.
By the way, you can vote to see the next 2 cards at the same time, or vote to see what the next card is, and they're showing 2. And then if you tweet, you can see both of them at the same time. And apparently they want 5 billion tweets because it's still at 28%, even though this is.
Wait, if they get X amount of tweets, they'll just reveal both?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I tweeted about it earlier, but it was at 6%. Now it's still only at 28%. I don't know how many friggin' tweets they need.
How many tweets did they want?
I have no idea, dude. That's crazy. They want this thing to be a worldwide trending topic, apparently, before they'll show you these 2 cards.
You know what? More power to them. Let's take a crazy game story.
Is the whole world gone crazy?
You're in trouble now.
You got it!
You can send your crazy game stories to tacpodcast@gmail.com, or you can post them on our Reddit over at tacpodcast.reddit.com. Ours today comes to us from Reddit, and it's from Darty.
Sure. Darty.
Would you like to read Darty's crazy game story?
Yeah. So he says, "Hello, fellow angry chickens. I want to share my luck. Of games. All right, that's a sentence. I had heard similar stories on TAC, so I'm willing to bet a few of you can relate to my luck here. So today I was running my beefed up variant of Dragadin for this week's Tavern Brawl, 10 mana on turn 1, when the matchmaker put me up against a Warlock. Can you see where this is going? I get the second turn and draw a Noble Sacrifice, Humility, Azure Drake, and Sludge Belcher. I mulligan my Noble Sac and Humility and draw a Nefarian. Knowing the past stories about Jiraxxus and Nefarian, I quietly loll to myself, while to my amazement, the Warlock plays Jiraxxus and hits me in the face, while calling down an Infernal. Knowing the possibilities of what Nefarian can bring, I play him and receive a Sacrificial Pact and cry out in excitement.
Oh.
I immediately play the Sacrificial Pact, killing Jiraxxus and ending the game on turn 1 for a total game length of about 30 seconds. So, well played, but you should have BM just a little bit. You got to say I'm sorry or something, right?
Yeah, that is...
Although he probably was like, I got a unicorn on my shirt. And just so excited.
Oh, by the way, I know Jocelyn isn't here to be to defend, honor and manners.
The non-BM way of the Canadians.
Yeah, exactly. To be our resident Canadian and tell us that there's never really a reason to BM, but this is absolutely the time when you would playfully BM your opponent.
Yeah, you got to say well played, and then the other guy goes like, what?
Huh?
Why?
What do you mean?
Well played how?
It's turn 1. I know you have 10 mana, but it's just still turn 1. What could be? Oh my god, he got sacrificial
and then
pack.
you killed him. Yeah.
You can't even be mad when that happens. I realize he probably was, but you can't be. You just have to be a little impressed that the numbers fell the way they did.
Yeah. No, this is awesome. And for all the people who hated on me because I hated on Tavern Brawl, I've softened quite a bit because things like this are fun, and this is fun. So I get it now.
And
I'm on board, you guys.
You've been getting more crap than I. I was in the same boat as you when it was first announced, and I've softened as well, and it's fine.
Some of them kind of suck, and when they suck, it's fine. You wait 5. I was talking to Young Lou about this, and he was like, one of the things that we, wanted was that we got like kind of a mode where if people don't like it, then who cares? You come back in 5 days, it's a new one, right? So
yeah.
To me, like it's fine, and right now I'm like about the most excited I've been about Hearthstone in a long time. Probably new cards have a lot to do with that.
Yeah,
but I think Tavern Brawl has also been something that I have found some enjoyment in, even if I'm not doing it all the time. Like I'm not tournament mode. I'd be doing all the time. Let me just put that out there. This I'm not doing all the time, but I am enjoying my time in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm right there with you. I was definitely hitting what I think was the peak of maybe my Hearthstone burnout recently, and not having as much time to play definitely played a part in that. But a large part of it was the meta has stagnated. Even tuning into tournaments, I wasn't seeing a lot of new things. And then, damn, if not like clockwork, just Blizzard, I feel like they felt it. They just felt it happening across the board. And it's like, all right, it's time to announce TGT, and I'm just jazzed as hell, man. These cards are so cool looking.
Magic has like kind of a very scheduled cycle, right? Where you kind of know what you're getting, and when new cards are coming, and they're always kind of coming.
Yeah, we don't have
Hearthstone hasn't really settled into that yet, but it does feel like the schedule we have gotten has worked to the point where it's like right when I'm getting a little bit sick of it, here comes some new stuff.
Yeah.
And I hope that's like the pace they keep.
Yeah, agreed.
Or even quicker.
I think it's pretty damn good. Like obviously, me personally, maybe a month earlier, like would have hit me at the right time, but not saying I'm not speaking for everyone. And if they're within a month, I think it's great. I think the time has been really good so far.
Yeah.
So good on you, Team 5. I'm super effing stoked again. So let's do this. And speaking of doing stuff, let's take an email.
Hello.
Hello, it's me.
Hello.
Just quickly, did you get my message?
Yep.
Oh.
Hello, brother.
You can also send your emails to tacpodcast@gmail.com. And our email today comes to us from Gerald, who says, Narin, I didn't have this. He says,
Cluck.
He actually wrote it. He actually wrote that, so I figured I'd just play it. And he says, first, I wanted to tell you guys that I opened my Galaxy gift packs and received an angry chicken, which I feel like means Ben Brode is saying he loves your podcast as much as I do. I don't think that's what it meant. But I appreciate...
Probably not. It just means that it's a possible card you can get out of a pack.
Yeah, I appreciate the sentiment, though. He continues, I know we haven't seen all or even most of the cards from the expansion. He's talking about the Grand Tournament. But do you think any new archetypes will emerge from the expansion? I'm thinking like Inspire decks or maybe even Pirate decks to make cards like Captain's Parrot or Captain Greenskin valuable outside of a Gits and Shiggles deck. Oh, I've never heard anyone say that before.
Just trying not to swear on the air. I get it.
Gits and Shiggles. I love it. I love it so much. Gits and Shiggles. Yeah. He says, thanks for an amazing podcast and for helping me keep up with everything that is Hearthstone. Well, you're welcome, Gerald. No, I absolutely think, we've been talking about Totem Shaman the whole damn show now.
Yeah. Totem Shaman is coming. Inspire decks are definitely coming. Dragon Mage, I think, is coming with their new version of a dragon. Don't know about pirates yet because we haven't seen. There's got to be more pirates though, I think, because we've seen one pirate and it seems to rely on there being more. But yeah, with 132 cards, that there has to be new archetypes.
Yeah,
it's just going to happen. Obviously, everybody thinks about the cards in terms of what already exists. So you start thinking about like which deck that exists now that you'd throw these into, when you start looking at like the Frost Giant and stuff. But the fact is, like, there's just going to be a deck we don't know about yet. And that's what's going to, that's what those cards are going to go into.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Is there any archetype that when you were looking at these cards you thought of that we haven't discussed today?
Honestly, like I feel like there might be some sort of a, like you could consider some sort of a a fatigue warrior, like I was talking about with the King's Defender. Like there might be something like that just runs your opponent out of stuff and then just wins because it has way more armor when it gets the fatigue.
Yeah.
And then it could also play stuff like the Burrowing Mine and stuff like that, you know? So that could be a thing, you know? But outside of that, not really. I can't really think of too much. I guess the Lock and Load Hunter is the other one. It's just the card True Heart value decks. But yeah, right now, I think we've kind of covered them all as we went over these cards.
Tournament Medic confused me so much that it took up a lot of my thinking time over the past few days that I was like, well, maybe Combo Priest will become a thing. But
it kind of is. It's dipped in and out.
I kind of like abandoned that thought though, because like when you think about the aggro paladins right now that are running like your Blessing of Kings, like the blessing spells for paladins are kind of just straight up better. So because even if Combo Priest became a thing and Tournament Medic became its linchpin, well, you just kill Tournament Medic before it gets interfired. Whereas with Paladin, their blessings, it's just raw stats. It doesn't have to have a lot of health. It just works. You can put it on one of your 1/1s and it's a scary minion all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's like immediately it becomes...
Yeah, so all of your minions are potentially lethal, whereas if you're doing Combo Priest, only minions with high health are your...
Well, Yang Wu was playing a deck, a priest deck that was playing Gilbin Stalker and then trying to turn that into a huge thing. So there are people still trying to do that. The thing about that deck, that's like what everybody's first deck is, right? Like when they first start playing Hearthstone, because they see those cards like interfire and they're like, oh my god, imagine this! I could make a crazy big dude and then hit you like one time and kill you. But the fact is it hasn't really worked that well because of what you said, which is that you can kill it before it ever gets a chance to get out of control. But this could be something that brings that a little bit back and makes it more viable. It's possible.
Yeah, fair enough. What was your first deck, out of curiosity?
Well,
do you remember?
When I played and everything was broken, I actually made Miracle Rogue like right away. That was like the first deck I made.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it was the whole plan then was to play Auctioneer into a 0 mana cost Conceal on turn 5, and then it was just all the spells, all the spells, and also like and that version had Mana Addicts and Van Cleef. And then I just went off on turn 6. That was the first deck I made.
Cool.
And it was awesome. Yeah, there's like a video of me destroying Scott Johnson because I was like, I gotta show somebody this. This is so insane.
I think you were. I don't even remember. That might have been the reason what spurred me into emailing you about doing a Hearthstone show, because I remember listening to the instance and you were just talking about Hearthstone the whole damn episode, and I was like, I should see if Dills remembers who I am and wants to do a show.
I mean, I was so excited about Hearthstone from the jump. The moment before I'd even seen anything, I was just like, yes, cards made out of World of Warcraft characters. I want this. But I didn't have a community. It's so crazy if you think back then.
Yeah.
We had no community.
We thought we were going to do this show maybe twice a month.
Yeah.
Because we're like, there's no way this game will have enough to talk about to do a weekly show. And now we still get emails from people like, you guys should do like 2 shows a week. You could do it. And honestly,
it's possible that may happen at some point.
We could do 2 shows a week. Like,
yep. There's enough to cover.
There is.
And here we are 2 hours into this episode.
Oh, man, I'm exhausted. I am so tired. It's not even funny. I've been dealing with like power outages like the last 2 days since I've been back because it's been just a perpetual thunderstorm. I am so thankful it's not thundering right now, that we made it through the show without a power outage. But yeah.
It's been a rough week for all of us, but you guys are going to be at Nerdtacular soon. I will be packed up and moved out of here, and hopefully soon after that, on my way to Austin. There's a lot of cool things happening, but the last week has been stressful for all of us, I think.
Yeah, it's
good to be back doing the show. It's good to have new cards to talk about. This has been a really fun show, man.
Yeah, it's been.
You know what? Dude's night every night. Let's do this.
Dude's night every night, but hopefully also with Jocelyn.
Oh, yeah.
Who I call dude all the time because dude to me isn't gender specific.
She's kind of a dude, if you think about it.
She always says that she's guys.
She's got some dude-like qualities.
That is one of her favorite things to say. I'm guys. I'm guys.
Yeah, just say guys.
Yeah. So I think that's going to do it for this week's show. I don't even know if I'm going to stick around for an after show. I'm so exhausted. Maybe we'll take a couple
I'm
questions.
tired as hell too, man.
Anyways, that's going to do it. Thanks again to our patrons. Guys, you are just the freaking best. We really appreciate your support. If you're not a patron, patreon.com/TAC is where you can go if you want to support the show. If you want to give us $1, $5, $10, however much you want to give. It's not required. The show will always be free, but that's where you can go to support the show. So this week, thank you to Grant. Thank you to Andrew I. Thank you to Will Brode. Put your last name in there.
Will Brode.
Yeah, Will. Woo. Thank you to Shammy180, and thank you to Daniel B. I always forget that you don't have to put your real name as your patron account name.
Will Brode, though, I think, okay, whenever you guys see Will Brode, anybody who listens to this show, I want you to go to him and I want just say, it's Chill Brode. I wanted, his name should now be Chill Brode.
Chill Brode.
I want him to be called Chill Brode, yes.
I know.
Coining this now. He is now Chill. You got Ben Brode and you got Chill Brode. Those are the Brode Bros.
I now want that to be like a Frost Death Knight card.
Yeah, Chill Brode.
In Hearthstone. It's just this frozen warrior and just this Chill Brode, and it's I don't know, maybe it freezes when it attacks or something.
He's the chillest Brode. I mean, it's obvious.
I mean, Ben's pretty chill.
Yeah, well, yeah. That laugh ain't chill, but yeah.
Fair enough.
There you go. Ben Brode will be Zen Brode. You got Chill Brode and Zen Brode.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Also, thanks to those of you who are leaving us reviews in the iTunes store. Really appreciate them. I'm just looking at the story now. Thank you to Verkla Rung, who says well met, and also says Cluck. Thank you to Samurai Dad. Thank you to Leading More, CD Watson, and this 1-star review for not being able to download a podcast for one day. Go to hell. Go straight to hell, you dick.
Oh, man.
You try hosting a podcast. You know what happened? No, I'm going off on this guy. You know what happened? My credit card got stolen, you piece of shit. And my server went down for one day because the payment lapsed.
Oh, man. But he wanted his free content right then and there, man.
Screw you, buddy.
Give me my free content. Give it to me now.
How dare someone get access?
Screw you for having your credit card stolen. That's your fault, Garrett.
How dare someone get access to my bank account illegally? How dare they?
Look, man, we live in a victim-blaming society, and I think in this case, we blame the victim here, dude. You should have had what's that thing? There's a new product. You put your credit card in. It's on late-night TV. They can't steal your credit card. You need one of those. So this is on you. I think it's $19.99. They'll throw in an extra one. You call now.
I hope to one day. I think I'd do good in a PR job for a gaming company. But until that day comes, I'm going to enjoy my freedom and being able to tell people to go to hell for being jerks. So. That's
By the way, people in chat are very excited that we got some rage today. So.
Yeah, man, I was way too happy-go-lucky this whole episode.
Yep.
It's good. Normally,
you only hold it in for so long and then just let it out.
Yeah, exactly. Normally, I have the review thanks just preloaded, and I didn't have them in here, so I'm like, just pull it up, and I'm just going down the line. I'm like, wait, 1-star for what? Oh, we couldn't download it for one. Oh, thanks, buddy. I really appreciate it.
Look, you could give us 1-star reviews because Jocelyn didn't wear her unicorn shirt. You can give us 1-star reviews because I crapped on Brawl. You can give us 1-star reviews because Garrett's hair was hidden under a hat or something. That's fine. Acceptable reasons for 1-star.
Someone has done that.
Yeah. But damn it for not being able to download a podcast for one day. You son of a bitch. I'm coming for you.
Absolutely. So thanks for the episode. As always, Angry Chicken is a production of amove.tv and frogpants.com. Check it out. Great shows on both. All of our past live shows and videos can be found on youtube.com/StarcastShow. Our Angry Chicken t-shirt is over at /loot.com. That's SLASH loot.com. Follow us on Twitter at TAC Podcast. Catch us live, usually on Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/AMoveTV. I don't believe we were doing one next Monday because we are doing one this Saturday live from Nerdtacular. So if you are at Nerdtacular, screw all those other shows, man, that are going on at the same time, even though I kind of want to go see them. Come over to the Angry Chicken. Don't go see Tom Merritt and Scott and whatever silliness they're doing. Come see our show. And then force Tom Merritt to come see our show too. So,
yeah, do that.
And tell him
you know what? I'm going to make a prediction right now. I think Metson's going to find his way over to the Angry Chicken.
God, I hope so. Last year we had Russell Brower crash it, and this year if Chris Metzen could just crash it, that would I could die happy, sir.
So one more request for all you people outside of my chill bro request. I require that everybody else take my place since I cannot be there at Nerdtacular, and I need a full crowd yes at the end of the show. All right,
Ooh.
So don't let me down, Nerdtacular people.
I'll make sure Jocelyn and I do our like cheesy before the band starts hype machine to get a good yes out of everyone.
Yeah, I want to hear because I'm going to listen to this episode, and I want a big ass yes at the end. All right.
Nice. And last year I believe we had a TAC chant going on. I want that as well. That was pretty cool.
Okay, TAC chant as well. We got 2 requests now. Well, 3. Chill Broad, yes at the end, and TAC chant.
Great. Wonderful. Check out
probably add some more onto that.
Check out BrianGriffithMusic.com. That's who made our intro music. Dills, where can folks find you?
You can find me on The Instance, which is Fridays. I will not be on this one because it's also at Nerdtacular, but it's going to be awesome. So make sure you guys check out the live instance. It's going to be Russell Brower and Metzen, and I think it's been announced. I'm just going to say it. Screw it. Randy Deluxe is going to come up on the stage and do something. Been. So Scott was like trying to keep it a secret, and then he just blurted it out. So it happened. So that's going on.
Pretty effing stoked about that because that's how I got into podcasting, man.
Yeah.
Granted, it was originally Scott and Andrew.
Scott and Andrew, but then Randy. Those were the golden years.
Yeah, Randy shortly after.
Yeah, that was my first show too. That's how I got into podcasting as well as The Instance. So, I won't be there unfortunately, but the rest of the gang will be there. So. Definitely check that out. Check out my stream. I'm going to be streaming a lot more when I actually do get the move going. It might be a little sporadic while I'm living at my mom's house, which is super weird to say in your 30s. But
it's not like for a little while. It's not like it's a permanent thing.
No, it's a very, very temporary situation. But Willie Dills SF on Twitch, streaming a lot of Hearthstone Heroes and whatever else, like some Rocket League and stuff like that too.
I need to get that. Everyone,
you need to get that.
Everyone I am friends with will not stop talking about Rocket League.
It's badass, dude. You got to play it.
Yeah.
And if you are in the city, make sure you come by Tuesday nights at the Foundry because for the next few months while I am still here, I am definitely not missing any more of those. So if you want to come out and actually hang out with me in person, then come on out to the Foundry on Tuesday nights. Play Hearthstone. Sometimes we're going to do Magic drafts. There's just all kinds of stuff going on. So it's really, really cool. Come out and say hi. And, let's have a beer before I go. All right.
Sounds like a plan. You get in trouble if you bring your own beer to Nerdtacular? Chat room is saying?
What?
Oh, they're saying don't bring any beers to Nerdtacular or you will get them in trouble. Just a reminder.
Well, okay. So the deal with the beer at Nerdtacular is don't throw it away. Don't leave it out and be obvious that you're drinking a bunch of beer in the hotel because I guess it's Utah.
Yeah, they're weird about their beer tastes good, but it's basically
you can drink beer in your hotel room and whatever.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right. Fair, good. Maybe
I think it's just walking around with beer that you brought.
I wasn't planning on doing that, but I was wondering, if I brought, a small bottle of whiskey, is that okay?
Sure.
All right. Well, cool.
I think do what you want, man. This is America.
America. Folks, you want to follow me? You can follow me on Twitter at Garrett Art. My graphic design portfolio is over at nomoonart.com. And also check out Into the Nexus for Heroes of the Storm. We actually just recorded our episode for this week tonight before this show, which is crazy weird, but I'm going to be leaving to Nerdtacular on a normal day. So that's a new episode up right now talking about Skeleton King. He's really strong. Go check him out.
He's awesome. Yeah,
follow Jocelyn at GIS Gamer. Check out the Gamers Inn. Check out our sponsors, DogHouseSystems.com, where the code TAC will get you a 120 gigabyte solid state drive added onto your already just kick-ass gaming rig. It's great. And also when that code is used, you get the free hard drive. You also support the show. So use that code. Get a good computer. It's great stuff. We will see you, some of us will see you this weekend at Nerdtacular. Until then, job's done.
Job's done. Job's done. Yes!
Hype!
Nice.